down Main, it's a clear night. Screens glowing blue, got the facts in my headlights. Commonwealth tripping, but the truth stay calm. Morrissey and Lally, I'ma read them like Psalms. KP throwing shade from a broke down porch, but the files in my lap like a flame to a torch. I don't raise my voice, I just let the game speak. Steady with the grind while the crooked run weak. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks. They can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just ride a slow grind. Midnight oil burning, pen hit the pad slow. Every word cut clean like the rims on the 6-4. From Boston to Brockton, the whispers all hum. Turtleboys riding in the reckoning gon' come. Lally in the back room, Morrissey on the phone. Trying to twist the narrative, but they can't postpone. I'm just sipping on the facts while the city play pretend. Truth got no curfew, I'ma run it to the end. See, this ain't about fame, this about that long game. You can duck, you can weave, but the truth still call your name. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks. They can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just riding slow, gliding. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks. They can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just riding slow, guys. We just call hoes down to the city blocks. We just riding slow, guys.
My name is Aidan Kearney,
known online as
Turtleboy, and is a senior editor for
TBDailyNews.com.
They call me
Dr. Turtleboy.
It's my preferred pronoun. Daddy.
What's up, Daddy?
Journalism Jesus. Timothy Kearney.
The one and only Turtleboy.
Turtleboy.
What's up, Slick?
The doctor is here.
This guy's a bad motherfucker.
That's quite the intro.
I've broken a lot of major stories. I've been doing it for about 11 years. I used to be a high school teacher.
Turtleboy has changed a lot over the years. I was once a blogger, but now I'm much more accurately known as an award-winning journalist, a satirist, and an activist. Boom!
They're screaming your name here.
You're the crowd daddy.
Crazy. People either love me or hate me.
Listen, Turtle, all right?
But either way, they're watching.
Don't make such fun of the criminal justice system.
Stop it. I'm never gonna stop. This fight's just getting started. Now let's get this party started. Yo! What's up, peeps? How's everybody out there doing tonight? Good? Good? Excellent. Welcome to the live show. Hold on. We gotta fix this. Back in the basement here in the Turtleboy studios. Back in business. Good evening, everybody. Sorry about the delay there. But you all made it here. That's wonderful to see. Welcome to my YouTube presentation, the last YouTube presentation before vacation. at least the night one, we'll still be doing the morning live shows and all that stuff. And got through sex cult in there somewhere. But yeah, last one before vacation. And that's it, because I am leaving on Saturday. I will be back the Saturday after that. We will have a show the Saturday after that for sure, because you got to keep the grift going. And, I guess I could just drive around all vacation yelling into my phone. I could do that and make money. But you know what? Family first. That's what I say. Family first. So we're going to do that instead. So anyway, because I'm really looking forward to it. I go there every year. A lovely house. There's a turtle rider up there who just gives me his house every year. He's the man. And because people appreciate good work, I guess, and it's very generous of him. And it's right on the beach. And I was right down the street last year from freaking Carl Dougal. This shit, you're not. Carl Dougal was on my street with his stupid wife there, Jackie Chinless. Went running one day and I saw him there, but it's great. Go to the beach every day. Just wake up, chill, beach, come back, shower, beach. That's it. That's my kind of vacation. Not having to worry about walking around, seeing the sights, nothing like that. There's no sights to see. There's the sand dunes. That's about it. But anyway, yeah, we'll go to P-Town. It's like basically right on the P-Town line. So, but, try to stay out of there. Especially, at least at night. It gets kind of weird there at night, They get a little handsy there. But anyway, how's everybody doing? If you're new here, my name is Aidan Kearney. It's my YouTube presentation. You can call me a wide variety of nicknames if you'd like, up to and including A. Timothy Kearney. That's my true crime name. You can call me Journalism Jesus. It's my spiritual name. You can call me Uncle Turtleboy or Unk or just Turtleboy. A lot of people just call me Turtleboy or Turts or Teebs or Turtle Dove or Turtle Tits. That's a new one. I like that. I like Turtle Tits. Turtle Tits. You can call me, I prefer Dr. Turtleboy. It's my preferred pronoun because of Judd Welcher as a doctor. Then I get to be a doctor too. You can also call me Daddy. I know for some people that might be a little bit weird, but for others it might be fun, flirtatious, playful, even like sexy, some people might say. But it can be weird. So we have different kind of daddies. You can call me Crowd Daddy, Theater Daddy, Brow Daddy, Daytime Daddy, Mr. Media Daddy, Saint Daddy, Drama Daddy, formerly Drama Free Daddy, and of course, Fridge Daddy, because I'm really good at fixing fridges, but the problem is they break again, and you might call me and ask me to fix it again. And, or any of your kitchen appliances, whatever it takes, so call me Wade Hunter if you want. Yeah. I don't know anything about that. That guy made some good points. There was a guy that called in the Canton Select Board meeting named Wade Hunter. He wanted to build a statue of me in Canton. It was crazy. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, if you guys want to have your messages read out loud to the class, you can click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat. When you do that, you can pay whatever you want, say whatever you want, and I will read your message out loud to the class. Okay. Also, golf tournament. We're getting close. In order for us to get a shotgun, meaning like we get the whole course for the day, I have to sell 100 spots in the golf tournament. Okay. And then the whole course is ours all day. Like we basically pay for the whole thing. But if we don't, then they got to make money. So we can't do a shotgun tournament. It just gets more difficult that way. People got to go off at different times. A shotgun is when everyone goes at the same time. Okay. And it's way better that way because everybody finishes at the same time that way. And it's fun. We play best ball, meaning everybody shoots. Whoever hits it the furthest, everybody hits from there. And you have like a team score that way. And whatever team has the best score at the end, you get a prize. We'll see what those prizes are. Tons of shit. Okay. So we had a great time last time we did this 5 years ago. But we're not like, I have a much more female audience now, and women don't golf as much as men, but that's okay. Cause you don't have to be good at golf. You don't. It's something fun to do, borrow someone's clubs, come do it. You get a full round of golf, 18 holes. You got a cart, a t-shirt, some giveaways, food, and I'm going to do a live show from there with a live Q&A. So whatever you want, just come do it. And it's for my legal defense fund. So if you want to support me, come to the golf tournament that we're having, the Turtle Rider Cup. It is August 3rd at Kettlebrook Country Club in Paxton, which is next to Worcester and Holden, actually. And it is 10 o'clock. All right. Get there. You can get there at 9 if you want. Get your shit ready, whatever you got to do. Get all golfy and whatever tie your shoes, all that stuff. It's $175 for one, or if you want to do a foursome, $150 each. Okay. I recommend a foursome, and it fills up faster for me that way. If you do the foursome too, I'd make more money if everybody did a one-some, but it fills up faster with the foursome. So, or somebody suggested this, can you buy a spot and not golf? I guess you could. You could do that. You could do that. And then you could just give a spot to somebody else to golf and then just stay for the show. I guess you could do that. I wouldn't object to that. Just buy it. Who cares? Just it's all for the legal defense fund. That's what we're doing this for. Okay. So anyway, so go check it out. We're also doing hole sponsorships. We have sponsored 5 of the 18 holes now. It's $200 each. You can, your business, or we got a couple businesses have done it, but everyone else is just sponsoring their own fucking holes. And, whatever. It's just fun. It's just a fun day of golfing. Okay. And you got it's a fundraiser. It's for a good cause. I'm going to trial in December. We need this bad. I still got other legal shit going on, like New Jersey, that's fucking insane. And like, it just never ends with the shit they're trying to throw at me. So you want to help? Of course I'm playing. Of course I'm playing in the tournament. Of course I am. So if you want to help, sign up for the golf tournament. That's the number one thing you can do. Sign up for the golf tournament. It's linked. It's pinned to the top of my Twitter. And so get on there and do that, and you'll have a great time. I promise. It's going to be legendary. It's going to be like the Wilbur Show all over again. Okay. So, yeah, buy a spot for someone else. Yeah, you could do that too. You could raffle off spots. I guess we could start doing that. We could raffle off spots. Yeah, that works too. All right, cool. I thought we'll deal with the New Jersey thing another time. But anyway, but like it's like I had 2 New Jersey things, and it's just like it's a weird state. They just like leave you in limbo. They're like, yeah, we might get around to it. We'll see. But like the t-shirt lady thing is still going on. Can you believe that? The t-shirt lady, like, give me a break. Almost a year ago. Okay. Yeah, I would totally buy a spot. Do it. Yeah, go ahead. But do it. It's all good. All right. Anyway, so let's what else do we got going on here? Okay. Yeah, if you get, let me start off with some Turtle Chat. So again, the link is at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me at $, Uncle Turtleboy, and we can do it that way. Let's see what we got for Turtle Chat so far. All right. First up, we have Derek sends $25, goes, happy 19th anniversary to my wife, Caitlin. Love you more every day. I can't wait. Oh, this is so sweet. I can't wait to see what the next 19 years bring. Love, Derek. Thank you, Aidan, for everything you do. Enjoy vacation. Oh, that's so sweet. Good job, Caitlin. Not get divorced. I'm really happy for you guys. That's great. Didn't work out so well for me, so it's like really great to see that people who can stand each other and like want to be around each other, and don't go to jail and shit. It's great. So really happy for you. So that's great news. So thank you very much, and happy anniversary to the two of you. Thank you for the kind words. Next, I'm just kidding. Kinda, but not really. All right, next. Matt McCabe's broken caps lock sends $10 and goes, have a great vacation next week. Free the turtle. Well, thank you so much. Chubbs McCabe, broken caps lock. Wait. Phone, it's static? Is it still staticky? Is it bad? Why do people keep saying ouch? I don't get it. Let's see. Hold on. Can we hear it? Yeah, there was. All right, there was some static there. Okay, cool. All right. It's gone now. Awesome. Glad to hear. Okay, cool. Up next, we have here Livid in New York sends $25. Goes, listen, Turtle, we love and support you. Keep up the good fight. Read the next part to yourself. Okay. Oh, okay. We'll be okay. Sorry we missed you. Sorry we missed you. I know all the good spots up there, so we're good. So thank you so much. All right, cool. Thank you. All right, next. Oh, Cash Apps. All right, let's Turtle Chats. Let's see what we got for Cash Apps. Do we have any Cash Apps to start? Yeah, we got Mary sends $10. Goes, shout out to the Brigham and Women's Nurses strike. Yeah, hopefully that gets resolved. That would really suck. It's never a good thing when healthcare workers are dissatisfied. Got to make sure they get what they want. Got to get those hospitals running again. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Everybody work together. Thank you. Callie sends $50 and goes, happy vacation. Thank you so much, Callie. Appreciate that. All right, cool. Let me just make sure we don't have any more turtle chats over here. Yeah, we got a couple. Here. We got Mia Sweetcakes sends $10, goes, hole in one daddy. Enjoy a well-deserved vacation. Thank you so much, Mia Sweetcakes. $5 from Proctor's Nervous Breakdown says, hey, Turtle Tits, it's so aggravating that we know how simple the tweet issue is. Uncle Bev is pissed at. The more I've gone over it, only a delusional psychopath who spends their entire day and night online and in Twitter would be the one waiting for the right opportunity. And I hope when she is dragged into court, her RO is violated as well. We don't know it's Krusty. Okay. There's no evidence of that, to be very clear. This is exactly the same as when the lawyer lied about Karen's audio clip and had to apologize to Alan. Oh, and Alan had to fly in for that too. Patterns matter. I know it's fucked up because like they're the ones constantly playing fuck games and lying. And yet the judge is just like, yeah, but it's Karen Reed's fault and Turtleboy's fault. Like, it makes no sense. It makes zero sense. So thank you. All right, next. Carrie T.O. sends $50 and then goes, hi, Aidan. The judge has TBDS bad, in my opinion, and I'm scared for you in general. I think you've been the main character for a while. What donation avenue takes the least percentage from you? In Canada, so no Cash App, no Venmo. I'll continue to support the grift whenever I can. Love from Toronto. Have a great vacation. Well, you did the right one. The best is the Turtle Chat, Carrie. So I appreciate that. They just take it's like a standard, whatever my bank charges, the fee. So there's that. Thank you. All right. Do we have any more? No. And okay, yeah. So that guy, I see people in the chat like, who's Timma? So this guy, Tim McGrath, I think his name is. He's like he was one of the regular boots on the ground people that like turned against me. He's good friends with Boston Brandy, and he's always out there. They're like tight. He supported 5150, all that shit. So he apparently assaulted and broke into the home of another boots on the ground woman who didn't want to be with him and like assaulted her and had the cops called on him and shit like that. He's just a fucking animal. Like, I haven't heard the whole story. Others can fill you in, but the dude's just a complete degenerate piece of shit. And I've been saying it for a while. And he's like one of the regular boots on the ground people outside. He looks like a union thug, kind of like he's outside with Brandy every day. Like that's Brandy's pal. So, just want to throw that out there. Okay. I just want to throw these are the kind of people that don't like me. People that beat up women, right? Do shit like that. Tim McGrath is his name. He goes by Timma, and he's got a lot of shit to say about me on Twitter. But unlike him, I don't put hands on women. And you want to go there, Timma? Maybe we get the whole fucking report. Maybe we throw that up there. Karen Reed would be wise to stay far, far away from you. Don't ever fucking show up at a court date again. You're done. You're fucking done. You lay hands on a woman, Tim, you're done. Fucking animal. Get the fuck. I better not fucking see your ogre ass ever fucking again. You're done. Your time with boots on the ground is over. See you later. Goodbye. That's it. So pass that message along, Brandy, if you haven't already. Tell your animal friend, Tim McGrath, to keep his fucking hands off women. And don't ever show up around Karen Reed again. Because we don't want people like that in the fucking movement, do we? The fuck out of here. All right. Anyway. So there we go. He's gone. One less asshole around. All right. He goes by Timma. Like retarded. Like Timma. Wait a minute. Is this blurry? You guys? I don't know. All right. That's a little better. All right. Cool. I don't know if he got arrested or if he had a restraining order put on him. I got to get the deets on that one. I don't have it all. I'm seeing lots of stuff people are messaging me about. Some people are I got a whole bunch of people in my inbox about like fraud with veterans. And I don't know what's going on with this and Charlie Kirk. And I don't know. I don't have time to follow any of this shit. I wish I did. But you know, we'll leave it at that. People like things are getting taken down and people are making reports and Valhalla's getting shit taken. I don't fucking know what's going on. I don't follow any of this shit. Right. I don't have time. I don't have time. So if people are in the chat talking about this stuff, I don't even know. I don't know. There is no fraud. People say, there you go. Okay. I don't fucking know. So like, I don't talk about shit that I am not like 100% aware of. And I have like all the facts regarding, I have the facts regarding Timma. That's why I said something about that. So that's all I got to say about that. Okay. Okay. So anyway, if anyone else wants to have their message read, link to the turtle chat at the top. I'll refresh it one more time before we get started here. Now, well, Marie Sparkly Rabbit Carvalho sends $5 and goes, need some new names. New names. I suggest Turtle Toy. Turtle Toy. Is that a sexual thing, Marie? Marie's freaky. Marie's kind of fun. But you know, people were hating on her like, oh my God, she made comments about sex. So what? You're never too old. You're never too old. So thank you very much. Okay, cool. Let's see. Oh, Sparkly Rabbit says, speaking of the devil, says, have a great vacation. Relax, enjoy yourself. Don't be a machado. I think she relaxed. She relaxes a lot, actually. So every day is a vacation. Nobody cares. Says, you can put me in the hole, but please try not to say goddamn. Okay. Superstition member for 2 months says, free Dr. Turtleboy, enough of the BS. Amen. Amen. Kelbell member for 3 months says, YouTube presentations are hilarious. Can't wait to see the day that you are free and justice for John O'Keefe. I'm really looking forward to that myself. I'll tell you that much. Thank you. We got Sherry Thompson gifts 1 Turtleboy membership. Awesome. Thanks, Sherry. Mia Sweetcase also giving out memberships. Glad to see it. Katrina says, free the turtle, and they have been a member for 5 months. So thank you very much, Katrina. Become a member today. You get access to the members only. You know, we get up to 3,000 members. All of a sudden, things are going well. You know, we'll see what happens. But all right, cool. All right. Anyway. So there's that. Let's see. Somebody, Christy goes, you are not going to go to trial. There's no way your motion to dismiss is not going to happen. I love your optimism. I hope so. That'd be really cool. But you never know. I don't get to make those decisions. Somebody says, that bitch says, you look younger with a tan. Am I really tan or burned? I don't know. Enjoy your vacation. I'll do just that. Thank you. Also, we got, no, we already saw that one. We saw Angel Baby giving out 1 free membership. So congrats to the winners who won their free memberships tonight. Okay. All right. So, and then we got 2 more just like that. Throwing away 5 memberships. We got Felicia giving 5 memberships away. Thanks, 1977 Felicia. And Miss Jenny J gives out 5 of them. So congrats to all the winners. Don't forget to renew at the end of the month. Oh, and Carrie, who had a great tweet the other day, says, happy Turtleversary to me. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much for that. A year ago today, it was July 7th, 2025. I had a hearing on this date. And this was kind of like the end. I knew a certain thing was coming to an end at this point, and I was trying to do like the slow fade, and then it all ended a couple days later. And can you believe it's been a year? That's crazy to think about. But anyway, we don't need to talk about that. Let's get back to brass tacks here, shall we? All right. Anybody else wants to donate? Link is at the top of Turtle Chat, or cash at me, $ Uncle Turtleboy. Do it that way. All right, cool. So what am I looking for here? Just looking for something. Fuck, I think. I had something lined up here to talk about. Where'd it go? Oh, this poll thing. You guys see this poll? I want to talk about this because this is important. So all over the news, well, not all over the news, but it was reported on the news recently about this UNH poll that came out. You guys might have seen it. It says 7 News, University of New Hampshire poll shows growing distrust for law enforcement in Massachusetts. I don't know if there's a link to it here, but it says, okay. 7 News conducted an exclusive poll with the University of New Hampshire, and the results show trust for law enforcement is taking a beating in Massachusetts in the wake of the Karen Read murder case. The Karen Read case shined a spotlight on disturbing behavior by police officers and state troopers involved in the investigation, most notably former state police trooper Michael Proctor and former Canton Police Sergeant Sean Good. Karen Read, blah, blah, blah. Okay. The poll shows Massachusetts residents who heard about the case have reached their own verdict about whether the police concealed evidence during the initial investigation. 69% of the people said police definitely concealed or probably concealed evidence. When you're like, well, 69%, that's like only 2/3. Shouldn't it be more than that? No. Only 6% say they didn't. That's 10-1, brother. More than that's like actually it's like 12-1. 6% said police did not or probably did not conceal evidence. 25% say they're undecided. So 25% are just like, I don't fucking know what this is about. But 69% are like, the cops concealed evidence. That's great. Do you understand how high that number is for that amount of people to be like, yeah, so our police just plant shit in murder investigations and cover up. That's like code for cover up murder. So again, I ask all these people who think that they're going to take me down and think that like I'm going to jail or I'm going to be found guilty or the McAlbert's going to sue me. How are you going to find a jury of Massachusetts citizens to do that when you see poll numbers like this? Do you know what polls are? Polls are like general representations of the population. They're not the most accurate thing in the world, but they have a standard deviation that's somewhat accurate that numbers don't generally fall outside of. And when you have 69-6, that's bad. How are you need 100% to convict me. 100% of a jury has to vote that I'm guilty of witness intimidation. It's not as high on the civil side, obviously, but it is that high on the other side. So how are you going to find 12? How are you going to do that when these are the numbers? What are you going to do? It goes on to say, that's a rather damning public perception of what goes on, and they believe. The public does believe this evidence of a broader problem within the Massachusetts police, said Dr. Abby Smith, director of the UNH Survey Center. The poll shows that those who watched the Read trial made a judgment on not just the investigators in the case, but all those who wear the badge in Massachusetts. Asked whether the Reed case is evidence of a wider problem with police in the state, and 63% said yes, 14% said no, and 23% said undecided. So that the 6% number jumps to 14%. So like 8% of the people were like, yeah, I think there was corruption in this case, but it's not systemic. Whereas 63%, so only 6% less than those who said that they believe that there was a cover up in the Karen Reed investigation, the John O'Keefe investigation. Only 6% less than that think that this is not systemic. So, or think that this is systemic. That's pretty high. And why wouldn't you? And you know why people think that? Because no state police spoke out about it. Because everybody was just, I don't have anything to say about that. Look the other way. Because Michael Proctor felt comfortable doing it. That's the problem. That no one would dare, you know, when it, and this is I love this one too. Are they going to blame, is this on me? Did I do that? Did I brainwash? Because that's what they're alleging, right? Me and Karen Reed tricked all these people. This just completely blows up their narrative. Unless their new narrative is I convinced all these people. And we could just bring all these people in one by one and just ask them, why do you think? You know? Why do you think? You want to do that? Okay. We'll put the whole damn system on trial. Goes on to say, the whole case has been kind of a public opinion disaster for policing in general. Because even good policemen out there are going to be tarred by this. And that's a very unfortunate thing. It's a really terrible position to be in for the great majority of police officers that do excellent job and work very hard in the dangerous circumstances. It only takes a few bad apples to kind of taint the whole barrel. And I think that's what this poll is indicating with that case. Despite those results, when asked how well state and local police are protecting people in the state, 44% say good or very good, 30% say fair, and 12% say poor. So most people still say, I like the police. I trust the police. I think they're doing a good job. But also, they framed Karen Reed for murder. And they covered up John O'Keefe's murder. Despite those results, when asked how well state and local police are protecting people in the state, I already read the one. When asked how those same police officers do at holding other officers accountable when misconduct occurs, it is a very different answer. 20% said good or very good. 30% said fair. 41% said poor or very poor. Exactly. Like you can't say that. You can't be like, well, I think the police are doing a great job, but also there's systemic corruption. Because we're not hearing a lot of people calling that out. We're not hearing a lot of cops call that out. Right? So how many of them look the other way? Yeah, and that's not to say that a lot of cops I speak to or discussed it with Michael Proctor and have been, hold on one second. Yeah, a lot of cops like Barros, you know, are clearly good cops. But they're town cops. They're city cops. They're not state police. Like state police are afraid to call it out. State police are just afraid to call it out, it seems like, you know. So that's the issue. Yeah. The poll also shows doubts about police are shared by Republicans, Democrats, men and women of all ages. The only small group who felt they smelled differently were those who did not follow the Reed case at all. Yeah. So it's like, that says a lot to me that it's like, I saw the numbers, like generally Republicans are more trusting of the police. And that poll shows that along like political lines, it's even, you know, Republicans and Democrats both seem to agree that there was corruption in this case, period. Anyway, that's that. All right. What else did I want to talk about here? Okay. The new shit that's come out. More filings. All right. Let me get some of these loaded up here. Hold on. Save that. Save. All right, so there's a bunch of two new filings today in the Reed case. Every day there's something new with this shit that we need to keep up with. Hold on. All right, let me go to mass courts. Pull it up. All right, search Superior Court. This is in Plymouth, right? Can't Reed's case. All right, Reed, Karen. Is it Plymouth or Bristol? Wrongful death, right? I think. Huh. All right. I think I have it. All right. Let's see. Order. Decision and order on defendant Karen Reed's motion to compel Nicole, Brian Albert, and Jennifer McCabe and Allie McCabe and Brian Higgins to attend depositions and produce subpoenas. This one came out today. Let me bring this one up. I just saw this one. I don't know if you guys saw this one. What about Plymouth? Is it Plymouth or Bristol? I can't even keep track of where all these lawsuits are at. Hold on. Someone said, brother counsel did a good job of explaining all those court docs in reference to the tweets and Karen's lawyers' motions and filings. The judge is a danger. He keeps proving it. Brother counsel explained it in layman terms. We'll have to watch some brother counsel then, don't we? This one is the decision and order on defendant Karen Reed's motion to compel Nicole, Brian Albert, and all these others to produce documents. In this motion, Ms. Reed seeks an order requiring non-parties to immediately provide 3 non-overlapping dates for depositions before July 17th, provide responsive documents within 10 days. The filings reflect that non-party Allie McCabe was deposed on June 18th. Really? Okay. She was deposed, and non-party Brian Higgins' deposition is scheduled for July 9th. That's like 2 days from now. So it's not clear why the request for dates includes them. As to the dispute, as to the remaining non-parties, I'm not sure what more in conflict. The statement by Ms. Reed's counsel that he was and is willing to accommodate reasonable scheduling conflicts and concerns with the failure to pick one of the many dates set forth in the affidavit of counsel, or the failure of counsel for the non-parties as referenced in her reply to describe to the court the concerns about specific requests with the knowledge of the staunch position of counsel that Ms. Reed, the non-parties waived the blah, 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 blah. It is ordered on Thursday, on or before July 9th, Ms. Reed's counsel shall notify counsel for the parties of the deposition. Okay. So this is nothing. All right. That's more bullshit. Okay. But there was another one. Defendant Karen Reed's concerning Massachusetts State Police compliance with court's order. No, we don't want that one. Acknowledgement of various motions to clarify the record. This is from yesterday. There was more. I just saw more was put out today. Where? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? What docket is it on? I can just go on Kyle Sharkey's thing and find it. Let's just go on Kyle Sharkey's. He has everything. And suspicious sauce. She has everything too. All right, hold on. I just sent myself some. I'll go right now. Oh my gosh. And by the way, I just see on my memories, it's like, dude, I can't even. Like, I don't want to be one of those guys. Just like every time I go on Facebook, I just see. It's like I hate showing my kids, but they're so fucking cute. It's like this. Look at them. This is like 8 years ago. Like that's crazy, dude. It's crazy. Why can't they be that little forever? You know, look at that. Can you? I wish I could. Just, I like them. They're nice at the age they're at now. They're cool. You know, but you're like, can I just have them that age like forever? Can these never get older? And like never have any attitude or anything, whatever. They need more work. You have to like put them in car seats and change diapers and all that stuff. But man, it's just easier. All right. Anyway, back to this. So I was on Facebook for something. Oh, to get the court docs. Hold on. Emergency motion to clarify record. That's what I wanted. All right, let's see. All right, hold on. Should I show you the Jill Daniels video while I pull these up? Watch Jill.
Oh boy.
Oh, look who it is. Look
You are
who she
a
is.
fucking prick.
Here she is.
You know what? I'm so sick of your shit.
Oh, she's so nice.
Oh my god. Wow. Enough is enough. You are a prick. No, how's your kids? How's your kids? They must be so proud of their dad.
That's assault, Jill.
Give him the phone.
Give him his phone back.
Fuck off, Big Bird.
Give him his phone back.
You look fatter than me.
Nobody cares.
The money.
Give him his phone. Just hand it over.
Where's your top lip? Where's your top lip? And no, I'm sorry, didn't you go loopy? Didn't you go crazy? Give him his fuck up! No one else!
Give him his phone. You have his property. That's enough. Give him his phone.
Go ahead and touch it.
Give him his phone.
Give my phone back, Jill.
You can't steal his phone. Are you kidding me? Here you go.
Okay.
Holy shit. That really just happened? Is this real life?
Your kids should be, you are a loser. Piece of shit. I have wrinkles. I don't care, but guess what? I have a good heart. You are a prick. You're going to jail. And I
How have
cannot
the police
wait. And
not
guess
come
what?
yet?
You're going to be without a boyfriend because this prick is going to jail.
I mean, I'll be with my boyfriend longer than you will. You're just gonna die.
Okay, don't even worry about it. No, you won't. Okay. All right. Anyway, we're back. That never gets old. Fuck you, Big Bird. You're a fucking bird. Yes. She's like, you look like you're 20 years older than me. You're fatter than me. Boom. I can't. Where do they find these people? Where do they find these people? All right. Anyway, back to this. So let me pull this up. She was angry that day, let me tell you. All right. So this is this the first? Did this one come first? The emergency motion to clarify the record. Was this the one? And I don't know why I couldn't find this on the docket. I checked the docket. I didn't see this on there. Give me 1 sec. The one says July 2nd. We want, no. This one, the corresponding motion. Okay, whatever. There's 2 motions. All right. Today, the court on the record stated that on the record, an attorney with an appearance in this case violated either the letter or the spirit of the rule. That statement and those that followed were based on an incorrect premise. Namely, the information that the court claimed had been disclosed by an attorney was already public as of June 6th, 2026, at the latest, more than 2 days before the filing of an impoundment order at issue. It is insane that this has to be like explained. And it's like, I don't know why I have to be the center of fucking everything. Like, I don't, people, you insert yourself into a story. I really don't. All I did was comment on it, on the story. I'm sorry I have like information and sources and that they turn out to be like accurate. On June 6th, the Twitter user the court referred to today, that would be me, held a live stream on YouTube during which he had stated that he had received the same information from a third party. That was 2 days before the impounding filing, the court believes was improperly shared. That YouTube clip is contained on the USB drive as Exhibit 1. Great. I'm an exhibit now. That's great. Awesome. The following posts that also predate the June 8th impoundment filing also show that the information in question was public prior to the filing. And so this is a tweet from mine where KY Maverick says, which do you believe will be most likely happens Monday? Judge grants the motion, denied in deposition or denied in no deposition. And Sherry Thompson writes, Turtleboy was live. The source, though not vetted, stated that Proctor had been at McLean and transferred to a mental health facility in Florida. If that's true, did he have a nervous breakdown knowing AJ was deposing him? Are the McAlberts concerned he was a weak link? So congratulations, Sherry. You have made the docket. Welcome to the big leagues. Also, not to be left in the dust here, Petty Boop 617 says, I'm sorry, but if Proctor is in a hospital in Florida, they did not know this before the close of business on Friday. So this is on June 7th, 1 day before the impoundment order. The court departed the bench immediately after making these statements without permitting any counsel to respond. Shots fired. Defendant Karen Reed's counsel immediately asked to be heard to inform the court of these important facts that will correct the record. But the court refused to allow comment and refused to retake the bench when asked. Good. I'm so glad they called this shit out. I'm so glad. It needed to be called out. And that's it. And then there was another motion here. It is defendant Karen Reed, supplemental memorandum of law in support of emergency motion to clarify the record. After the court's emergency hearing on July 1st, 2026, and after lifting her emergency motion to clarify the record that same day, defendant Karen Reed became aware that the ex post that the court cited as the only evidence that its impoundment order had been violated was actually posted before the relevant June 8th, 2026 filing by third party Michael Proctor. The court stated at the hearing that Proctor's counsel sent the relevant pleading and exhibits to the court and counsel at 2:22 p.m. on June 8th, and that the Twitter post in question was created exactly 30 minutes after the email of counsel of record and contained information similar to the information contained in Proctor's filings. That is incorrect. Shots fired. I love this. As the court can see, oh, great. This is my tweet. Awesome. As the court can see below, the Twitter post in question was provided to the court by Proctor's counsel, which was provided to the court by Proctor's counsel. So now we know. Now it's confirmed for the first time. This filing confirms what we all assumed was the case, but is now we couldn't see this information because it's impounded. So we always assumed that he was talking about the impounded information was Proctor going to the loony bin in Florida. Judge Gilday basically said that this is what he was talking about was me. Now it's confirmed that he got the time, which means he got the time wrong, which means he was just wrong because he said it was a 252 tweet. It was not a 252 tweet. That is I don't want to say lie because I think part of being a lie means you have to know it's untrue, but it is untrue. That is not true what Judge Gilday said. So Judge Gilday is the leak, as Emily C said. Him and Liz Proctor are the leaks. Liz Proctor leaked this, not directly to me. She told someone who told someone who told someone who told me, and then I reported it. And then Judge Gilday, but again, this could have been just a rumor. Like if it had been left as that, I forgot about the mental health hospital thing. But Judge Gilday was like, no, we need to have a hearing just so I can confirm that this was indeed correct. That Turtleboy was right. But the thing is, he didn't say Turtleboy was right. Right? He wouldn't say my name. So there was still a possibility that they weren't talking about me. Now the Kearney team has confirmed it was me. And this is because they're going, this is the tweet that was in evidence. Because they go, as the court can see below, the Twitter post in question. So this is the post, my post was the one in question, which was provided by the court to the court by Proctor's counsel. So Proctor's lawyer entered this tweet of mine into evidence as evidence that like the impoundment order had been violated by me or someone. Well, it can't be violated by me because the impoundment order wasn't from me. It's like 5150. If you get sent impounded documents and you leak them, that ain't on you. As 5150 has pointed out many times. But with this, it's like, well, I don't know. And it also was 3 weeks later. So Lizzie Proctor was right. Yes. This was created at 10:52 Eastern time. The image provided by Proctor's counsel had a 2:52 timestamp. However, and again, they're not assuming this. They know this is a fact. So this was in fact the tweet. And so they sent in a tweet with a incorrect timestamp. Somebody call that fraud on the court. Fraud on the court. However, that is because it was apparently accessed by a user without a Twitter account, which defaults the time zone to UTC 4 hours ahead of Eastern time. And then they have a link here that shows that. When accessed by a user with an account set to Eastern time, the post appears as follows, and it says 10:52 a.m., and it has been viewed 167,000 times. So this tweet was on June 8th at 10:52 a.m., which is hours before any sort of impoundment order was put into place by the court. It says Michael Proctor, and I just love how this is now part of the court record. The word pussy is part of the official court record, and Michael Proctor being a pussy. Michael Proctor decided to have a mental health crisis after the whole world found out how racist he is. Sources tell us he checked himself into a mental health facility in Florida to try to avoid today's depot. They filed a motion at the last minute on Friday to delay the depot, but the judge wanted proof. They submitted an affidavit that was impounded because it likely said that Proctor was in a mental hospital. Likely. So this is me opining. And the judge has confirmed that I was right. Karen Reed's lawyer made the mistake, shots fired, of saying that the scheduling of the deposition was strategic, which the judge took issue with based on her comments on the Today Show. He stayed the depot for 24 hours. And at 4:15, a hearing will be held. My guess is he's going to tell Proctor to jump on a plane and stop being such a pussy so Alan can depose him tomorrow. So pussy has officially entered the court record. Okay. It goes, this message was actually posted more than 3 hours before Proctor's filing and not, quote, exactly 30 minutes after it. They're putting that in quotes. That's like shots fired at the judge. Therefore, the court's conclusion that there has been a violation of its impoundment order is based on a factually incorrect premise. The court's action as a result of what is incorrectly determined was a violation of its order has primarily impacted Reed, who is the party who subpoenaed Proctor, began taking his deposition, scheduled a second day of testimony, and has spent significant resources compelling and taking his testimony because there is no evidence of any violation of the court's impoundment order. And because the court did not permit Reed's counsel to present any evidence on this point at the July 1st hearing, the court should now clarify that no violation took place and permit Reed to proceed with her scheduled day of deposition on July 14th. The court should also pay out of pocket for all the expenses incurred because of this insanely dumb fuck up. Like this extremely avoidable, embarrassing boomer moment. That's what the court should also do, is pay a fine. Like that in a just world, that's what would happen. If you fucked up so bad and you cost all these people all this money, you would have to pay up. You got to pay for that. He should absolutely make these judges pay. Like this is all fun and games for them because they get paid the same no matter what. They're hacks. They're government hacks who make a shit ton of money and get a gigantic pension. People like Robert Cosgrove, triple dipping off the system. They're all hacks. They're all government hacks, politically connected hacks. And they can just fuck up time and time again and cost all these people their money and time and all this shit. And he's not even going to say sorry. Like, this is like some basic shit, dude. He got played. And you know who else should have to? The identity of the emailer should be made public because they knew. They knew. And if, Brandy thinks that me and my supporters should pay $20,000. I saw that, right? I do wonder what, I'm like, because how is this one on me? This isn't like, oh, you legally recorded some or nothing, bro. I was just doing I was minding my own business, tweeting away like everyone else on the internet was that day. I didn't do nothing this time. I've done what I've done since the beginning. Report information that is reported to me by sources. That's it. So I don't know. I don't know how that one's on me, but I definitely think at the very least he should clarify the record, but he won't because these people, they're all stubborn. All these people are stubborn and they can never admit when they're wrong, but they should. And we'll see what happens. And like my tweet is now in the middle of this shit. And I also have to be heard in front of this judge. This to me creates like a bias. You know, like they're alleging that me and Karen Reed conspired for petty and profit, right? To profit off of this shit, right? You know, and now the judge seems to be buying into it, right? I mean, that's what he's saying. So anyway, that's pretty wild that all came out, and we'll see. The antis are all mad about it. They're all the Jimmy Jams, the one that needs to get laid wicked bad. Oh my, we got to see her. She's so mad. Jimmy Jams, or Gimme Jams. We need a meme of her face. Huh. Let me see. I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to bring up my Twitter. Sometimes I like to go through my Twitter. I mean, it could have been Krusty. It could have been anyone, though. Anyone. You know any losers just randomly message like Hank Brennan and all these people? We've seen the emails that these people send with like their ideas. Like, you should prosecute them for this. Somebody wrote a handwritten note to Hank Brennan about like how to get Karen Reed. Rebecca Lavoie says here, she goes, I knew it was Aidan from the jump. There is no more scrutinized account on the internet than Dr. Turtleboy, and because he has charges, a judge would take it seriously if, say, a Norfolk County DA prosecutor came to him with this info. Exactly. What's this one? LaFerrio says, I'm guessing from what I'm reading that Brandy posted an old clip of Turtleboy talking about SB. I don't know who that is. Since she's deleted it because it was a crusty chop job. Turtleboy has already explained why he said what he said. Who's SB? Huh? Who's SB? Talking about SB? What does the chat say? Anyone know who SB is? Who's LaFerrio talking about? The Sandra Birchmore clip. Oh, that they took out of context? I was sent this and just noticed the date. Not that it matters, but I thought this is a recent sex cult or something. He's still a shithead. Oh, yeah, sure thing. Is this AR real? Did he say these things? Oh, my God. Like, it was just like 2 years ago. They took comments I made about when I read the Sandra Birchmore indictment, and they just took everything out of context and tried to make it sound bad. And that's it. And so Krusty did it. And if you fall for Krusty's bullshit, which apparently Brandy's like, oh my God, I just saw this. It's so bad. Bro, if you're sharing Krusty shit, you're just a fucking piece of shit loser. I'm so sick of them. Brandy Magnolia is fucking retarded. She's also not from Boston. She's from Whitman. And she's white fucking trash. Fucking useless, that bitch. Useless. Fucking get the fuck out of here. The quicker you and Timma and all you fucking retards get far away from Karen Reed, the better off she will be. Let me tell you. You guys have fucking destroyed that poor woman. You really have. You have no clue the fucking damage you've done to Karen Reed. None. Because you're a legion of retards. That's what you are. A legion of fucking retards. And I think Karen doesn't return your calls anymore, does she? Right? Because she wants nothing to do with you. And Nikki haircuts, all you fucking retards. We buried you, motherfuckers. You're done. You're done. Anyway. That's that. All right. What else is going on here? What's, oh God.
Babe. from there. But, fortunately, anybody can pick up your shit, and in the absence of,
It's almost like you just answered your question there, babe.
from there. But, yeah, I agree. I mean, listen, when you're on the internet, right, unfortunately, anybody can pick up your shit, and in the absence of like other content that they either work on, focus on, or is of more interest or generates more money, this will be it. And you can see, like, I obviously look and pay attention. There's more views than usual for some of these streams that they.
I don't even know what that's about. This is just the shit that appears like on my twat every day. Okay. All right. Anyway. All right. I thought I was looking for something, but I guess not. All right. We'll come back to some of this shit. All right. Again, this is what I see on my timeline. It's just like, I did see something funny. I gotta be honest with you guys. This McDonough has been replaced. Somebody sent like this. I'm like, okay. Just like, I love this meme when you're just like, cool. Because I got tagged in this one. And I'm like, what?
From being able to say, there is a reason why I think this is happening. And to be quite honest with you, and I don't care if it gets taken the wrong way or out of context, and it just needs to be said, I considered myself to be threatening to him. I don't consider myself to be a threat, but I consider him to observe me as a threat. I was gaining a following. I have loyal listeners. There's so many times in those comment sections, which, by the way, I never subscribed to it, where people were saying, Turtleboy and Bunny, right? So similar, just as like the female Turtleboy, and all of these things, right? Were leading up to, I think, him recognizing, in the absence of his work or whatever, that I could end up overtaking him. And I know that's not rational, and I don't ever consider myself to be in that scope of things. But I think there were things that were said that I heard, and other things that made me feel like he was waking up to what was going on over here. I don't think he pays attention. I don't think he listens. I don't think he was watching. But while he's busy out here doing what he's doing, there's somebody out here that was likable, that had followers, that had bunnies instead of turtle riders, and things were starting to build and get up. And I think there was an executive decision made to try to just kind of take that down. And I don't know if he'll ever admit to that, but
yeah,
I don't know. Yes. That's part of my feeling.
So I'm caught. So I apologize for, they caught me. I thought I could get away with it. I just saw her as a threat. That's what I do. I eliminate threats. When someone's getting too popular around here, I destroy them. I didn't do that to Melanie Little because I didn't consider her a threat. I did to McDonough. McDonough had to be destroyed. He was a threat. Will's no threat. I'm not worried about Will surpassing me. Melanie, nah. No. Machado, yes. As you can see there, she's a threat to me. So that's the real reason that I shared my opinion about the Broken Baker, is because she was talking about me. She's more likable than me. I guess I just have to be whatever. So I just saw people tag me in this shit. I'm just like, cool. Like, what am I supposed to say to that? I guess. Yeah, I guess so. If you say so. Yeah, whatever you say. Oh, and I saw this clip today. Remember this clip, dude? I'm looking for old Colin Albert clips. Look at this shit. Colin. This is between the first two trials. Look at this chick. Who is this chick? Do we ever find out? Is she alive?
And let's destroy them all. Cheers.
Let's destroy them all. He's so innocent, isn't he? Poor innocent Colin Albert, who has twice testified in front of the grand jury that is scared of me. Let's fucking destroy them all. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry that I'm not more likable. I'm really sorry about that. I'm so sorry that I'm not more likable. That's my problem, is that people just don't like me. So I just have to, if I see somebody that I'm like, wow, that person's really likable, I'm like, destroy. Time to destroy. Gotta destroy him, All right, back to this. What are they chugging? First of all, just look at this chick. Is she dead? Look at this broad. That broad, I don't know how old she is, who she is. That chick is grizzled as fuck. This is like what every Canton girl like that grew up to like in Jen McCabe's circle. That's how they all started off. And then they turned into Jill Harrison Thomas and Jill Daniels. They always turn into that. Look at this face. Okay, look at her. Oh, yeah. I mean, is she dead? Is she dead? What does he say? Fuck you, he says. Fuck who? Fuck me? Look at her. Is she dead? Oh, there she goes. Look at her. Look at this. Look at these two. I can't wait to show all these in court during my trial. Your Honor, do these people look intimidated to you, Your Honor? Really?
Fuck you and your fucking mom, dude. Fuck you.
Facts.
Facts. Fuck you and your fucking mom, dude. Fuck you. This is what these people do all day. The people think this is normal. People thought like the Colin Albert bang bang shit. It's just, I'm amazed by that. The people that are like, Colin Albert's so innocent. Like, he's just a little kid. He's just a normal kid who does shit like this.
Yo, your advantage boys. I will beat all your asses. I promise you, I will fuck you all up. Pull up, bitch.
Or this.
You're a bitch, bro. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, you pussy.
Clean cold, boy. You be knocked out. KO. Bang, bang.
Whoa, bang, bang. All right. I mean, that's not normal. Like nothing about these people is normal. They all think that they're normal and that this is like what normal, kids act like. They don't. I was his age before. I didn't act like that. That's not normal. Nothing about this is normal. Like, it's okay to like go out and get drunk and whatever. Like, I get that. But like this constant, like, it's angry. Listening to Adele too. Like, bro, chill. Okay. I mean, Colin Albert should stick to poetry. That's what he should stick to. I was watching Colin Albert's old poetry today. Can we watch that actually? I want to watch his poetry before we get to the DA stuff. That'll be waiting for us. Let me find it. All right, here's Colin Albert's poetry. Have you guys ever seen it? This is what he did for Bridgewater State. And, he says I'm the reason that he had to drop out of Bridgewater State, but I'm not so sure based after seeing this. Let's see. I want to make sure this is the right speed. Yeah.
No matter the weather, no matter the pain, the kick always starts the game. The team.
Oh, so he had to write a poem for his like English lit class. Yeah, Colin Albert Poe. Yeah, listen what he says.
No matter.
So of course he's like, they're like, write a poem. And it's like, what are you gonna write about, Colin? Football? Football is all I know. Football.
No matter the weather, no matter the pain, the kick always starts the game. The team must run it back as far as they can while the opposing team tries to defend. Pass or run, you don't want to finish last 4 15-minute quarters to decide the winner. Practice is the key to a successful team. Playoffs is where they want to be. The loser goes home empty-handed, and the winner moves on with the Super Bowl in view. The few will take home the glory, and that's the end of the story.
Like that kid, how did he survive a day in college? How easy is Bridgewater State if Colin Albert got in? Like, he's a fucking moron. All and they juxtaposed with that. And then he had this other one.
Bang!
Oh, bang, 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 bang. Okay. Then he's got this one. He's got this one too.
Hi, my name is Colin Albert. I am a freshman at Bridgewater State. I am studying finance here, and I am also playing football. I like to take online classes because I like to be in my PJs, as you can see, and I like to always have comfy clothes on and not dress up really. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts, which is about like 20 minutes outside of Boston, about 30 minutes away from Bridgewater. And I'm just happy to be at this school, happy to play football, and happy to see where the road's going to take me one day. Yo, your advantage, boys.
Okay. Okay. Your advantage, boys. All right. So anyway, that's Colin. Yeah. So he says he dropped out because of me, but no, that's not his grinder video. That is not his grinder video, allegedly. It's his best attempt at English, I think. So, all right. Anyway, so let's watch some videos. So this morning on Sex Cult, we watched Adam Deitch, who is the Norfolk County DA candidate, one of 7 Democrats running for the nomination. The election is on September 1st. And I got to be honest with you. I know people are very excited about Adam Deitch. He has raised the most money. There's no polling in this, so we have no idea how this is turning out. But I'm telling you right now, Adam Deitch is an underdog. Okay? Like if Adam Deitch wins, I will be pleasantly surprised. Keyword surprised, but also pleasantly. Because we are out here and YouTube and on Twitter, he's the most popular by a lot. But that's not how elections are won. Elections are won with voters from Norfolk County who don't go on Twitter, who don't go on YouTube, who don't know what any of this shit is, don't know what an Adam Deitch is. But they know Michael Morrissey's the DA of their county for the most part. The people most people don't even vote in the election, like a DA election. They vote for president, and that's it, which doesn't even really matter because the Democrats going to win all the electoral votes in Massachusetts anyway. But yet everybody votes, even though it's kind of a foregone conclusion who's going to win. So anyway, I think he's got a lot of work to do. I hope he's knocking on doors out there, building a coalition of people, out there. That's what you need. You need people out there. You got to hit up all the coffee shops. You got to get the union, and like Djuna Perkins is racking up like endorsement, which is why we can make an impact. Exactly. Emily is a Norfolk County resident. So she has an investment in this, right? This is her future, right? So we need to do this for Emily C. She deserves better. Her kids deserve better, right? Her little son deserves better. They deserve better than this. So we need to get out there and we need to go keep knocking on doors, keep supporting him. No matter what, he's got my endorsement. He's got my vote if I had one. Anybody that lives in, if you know people that live in any of the 28 counties of Norfolk, again, you want me to name them again? We've done this before. See if I can do this without looking at a map. I got no maps in front of me. Okay. If you know people who live in any of these towns, tell them September 1st, get out and vote for Adam Deitch. If they're a registered independent or Democrat, they could take a Democratic ballot. Right. And we have, let's see, Cohasset, Weymouth, Quincy, Braintree, Holbrook, Avon, Stoughton, Canton. I've done this before. Canton, Milton, Randolph. That's 10. Dedham, Westwood, Norwood, Wellesley, Brookline. That's 15. We're up to now. 13 to go. Norwood. Then we would have Walpole, Sharon, Medfield. Spent a month there one night. Medfield. Sharon, Walpole, Foxborough, Plainville, Rentham, Norfolk, we're up to 22 now, Millis, Medway, Franklin, Bellingham. I'm too short. That's what she said. But what are the other ones I'm missing? I'm missing 2. I got all 28 last time. I got all 28. Mansfield is not. Mansfield is Bristol County. Millis and Medway I got. I'm missing 2. I got Norfolk. I'm missing 2. I said Rentham. Stop saying things I said. Hopkinton is Middlesex County. Cohasset, I said. There's the first one I said was Cohasset. Dover. That's a good one. Dover's one. Yes. Now we're cooking. Hingham and Hall, that's Plymouth County. Both of them. Framingham, no. Framingham is Middlesex. North Attleboro is Bristol. Brookline, I said. Stop saying things I said. Brockton is Plymouth. Avon, I said. Bellingham, I said. Brookline, I said. Needham, that's the last one. Needham, thank you. Needham is the 28. So there we go. Those, if you live in one of those towns, Sherborne is actually Middlesex, believe it or not. So, yeah. So anyway, so you, if you live in Norwell is Plymouth, we're done. We said them all. If they live in any of those towns, get out and vote for Adam Deitch on September 1st. Now, we watched his interview with Kristina Rex earlier today, and it was really good. It was really good. But I watched later on, I watched a couple other candidates' interviews, and I want to start with Djuna Perkins, who is being kind of foisted upon us by Needle Dick there. What's his name? Cryford. Okay. All right. Where'd the interviews go? Videos. Here they are. Okay. Let's start with Djuna Perkins.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.
The first question I'm asking everybody, here you go. Introduce yourself. Tell us why
I was
in this race.
Because when I had a case a couple of years ago that I, as a defense attorney, that I thought this is very strange. This is not the way I was trained. Then in the summer of 2023, the district attorney's video statement that he put out in the Karen Reed case, which I thought was completely inappropriate.
Just to add context for viewers,
Sure.
This was a video that the DA put out, like a pre-recorded video, basically defending the witnesses in the case from what he called harassment.
Yes, but in this video, he vouched for the credibility of a witness, and specifically Trooper Proctor, which back then we didn't even know. The rest of us didn't know who Trooper Proctor was about all these texts.
Never come out.
It was just he made a statement along.
I knew.
Trooper Proctor has no reason to lie. We shouldn't be doubting him, and that is a completely unethical statement for a prosecutor to make. So that really got my eyebrows up.
And just to clarify, unethical in general, not just because of what later came out of Trooper Proctor.
Correct, because a prosecutor should never make a public statement that could potentially prejudice the jury pool against the defendant. And so it's really like the most junior prosecutor knows that. And so that was shocking to me compared to all of my prosecutorial experience of 10 years. So that's what started me paying attention. But it was the Sandra Birchmore fiasco that really got me to run. So when it came out, I think in the Globe in the spring of 2024, I started speaking out about the district attorney's failure in that case in the Globe, and then in an op-ed piece in Lawyers Weekly. And by September, I realized that this pattern was not going to change. And so even though I'd never run for office before, had never planned on it, this is my life's work, fighting for justice.
Globe report about the independent medical examiner's review of Sandra Birchmore's death, saying that it was a homicide, not a suicide.
Yes, I think there may have even been what about this piece of information? What about that piece of information? To make sure that they have all the relevant information, because the ME can't make that decision without input from the police and the district attorney. So that's what I want. The main thing I would have done differently. And certainly when the family had the independent medical examiner, Michael Bodden, who is one of the most famous medical examiners in the country.
Shout out Linda County Bodden.
I would then go back to our medical examiner, what you were thinking in the first place, and revisit that decision. But the district attorney didn't. So until the spring of 25, maybe even now, I don't know, but I heard him say in the spring of 2025, which was after both of these independent medical examiners, that he still believed it was a suicide. And the irony about that, the reliance on the medical examiner's decision, is that in the murder of John O'Keefe, the medical examiner found that the manner of death was inconclusive.
Undetermined.
And yet the district attorney decided to charge murder. So he knows he has the discretion, despite what the medical examiner's opinion is, to move forward on other charges. And so even if the medical examiner had continued to insist that it was a suicide, he could have still charged murder.
So if you were elected district attorney, what would you do in the Birchmore case, if anything, now? Is it too late?
So it depends. It really, and this
Very
is
lawyer
it's
answer.
A lawyer answer, I know. But it's true, because there's a million different factors that you have to consider. First of all, the travesty is that her own community didn't speak with her, speak for her. And if we do not speak for the most vulnerable in our community, we have no government at all. And so that is an incredible travesty that we did not do the job. But second to that, now that the feds have indicted him not on murder charges, but on charges that could lead, if convicted, to a life sentence without the possibility of parole, if he gets that sentence, you're not going to get much more by a murder conviction. So, the maximum sentence for murder in Massachusetts is life without parole.
So it could be a waste of resources.
Exactly. And it could be putting the family through something that would be another torture forever, however many years.
So she says she's not going to prosecute Sandra Birchmore's killers because someone else is doing that for them. Okay.
That said, if he doesn't get convicted, or if the sentence for some reason is less than life without parole, then that's a conversation with the family, and the decision should be made then.
I want to ask you about a few other particular cases in Norfolk County, which have been pretty high profile in the last few
Oh,
years,
okay.
and some are still ongoing. You mentioned the Karen Reed case.
Oh, yeah.
I'm asking everybody the same question. If you had been DA in January of 2022,
Oh, here we go.
Southeast body was
Here we
found on
go.
Roberts Front Lawn in Canton, would you have charged Karen Reed, and what charges would you have sought?
So that is a good question. I think that there was certainly probable cause to believe that she had driven under the influence. Probably.
There's probable cause to believe she'd driven under the influence. What? You would have, it's like they all drove under the influence. None of this would have happened. She never would have been convicted of a DUI if she wasn't charged with this other bullshit in the first place. This idea that, like, oh yeah, it was the right thing to charge her with DUI. What about Higgins? What about Higgins?
I think probable cause to believe that she had struck him and somehow caused.
Whoa.
So that is a good question. I think that there was certainly probable cause to believe that she had driven under the influence. I think probable cause to believe that she had struck him and somehow caused his death.
That's it. That's it. Disqualifying. Done. That there was probable cause to think that she had struck him and caused his death. Done. She's done. You cannot vote for her. She's retarded. You cannot vote for this woman. That's it. She's just done. Probable cause. I mean, Brother Counsel had the perfect tweet for this today. What did he say? He said, one of the candidates for Norfolk DA, of all the candidates for Norfolk DA, let's see. Only Adam Deitch, Robert Juvinville, and Macy Lee answered Kristina Rex's question about the Karen Reed case correctly. Djuna Perkins almost did. No, she didn't. If knowing what we know now, if you still think Karen Reed should have been charged with anything related to her vehicle interacting with John O'Keefe, then you are not a serious lawyer, and you are certainly not capable of making charging decisions. Exactly. Like, you are done after everything that we know now. That there's probably probable cause. What? That's insane.
Whether or not that was beyond a reasonable doubt evidence is another question. And clearly the jury was unsatisfied both times with that level of evidence.
Like that, you're part of the problem then. Because the jury said that there was no, that there's not beyond a reasonable doubt. Yeah, but the problem is, how much money did it take to get to that point? And her civil rights her life was ruined in the process. The problem is that the people inside the house that murdered John O'Keefe were not held responsible. What about the probable cause for them? Huh? Bye, lady. I mean, just like anytime you talk about a car hitting John O'Keefe, you're just done. Done.
I think I might have gotten to the point where I didn't believe there was enough evidence long before the trial, but I definitely would not have charged her with murder because that, I think that was one of the really confusing things for the jury too, is that you've charged her with OUI manslaughter and also second-degree murder. And those two crimes have different.
And by the way, I saw top of the Twitter profile, link to my Twitter profile is a link. You click on that, you can just go and register and sponsor yourself a hole. Thank you.
Elements that you need to prove that conflict with each other. So in a murder case, you're supposed to have the intent to kill. And in an OUI case, if you are, the one crime that can be refuted by alcohol is a specific intent crime. So if she's that intoxicated, she can't form an intent to commit to murder. So if you're arguing both, which they were, what are you trying to tell the jury?
But I think the nuanced attempt argument, which we know failed because she was acquitted of that charge, was that it wasn't intentional, it was knowing.
Yes. But
what did she say? I got to hear that again.
To kill. And in a is that you've charged her with OUI manslaughter and also second-degree murder. And those two crimes have different elements that you need to prove that conflict with each other. So in a murder case, you're supposed to have the intent to kill. And in an OUI case, if you are the one crime that can be,
this is just such a sellout.
Is specific intent crime. So if she's that intoxicated,
this is just such a sellout. How do you want to hear about any of this shit? John O'Keefe wasn't hit by a car. You have to be fucking retarded to think that John O'Keefe was hit by a car. That's it. That's the line.
She can't form an intent to commit to murder. So if you're arguing both, which they were, what are you trying to tell the jury?
But I think the nuanced attempted argument, which we know failed because she was acquitted of that charge, was that it wasn't intentional, it was knowing.
Yes, but the thing about this is that it's not only the legal determination that you're looking at as a prosecutor, it's also what will the jury think? And a jury is driven a lot more by just common sense and what does justice look like in this particular case? And so those are considerations that that's just as important as a consideration sometimes as what technical legal argument you might be able to make. I have not talked to any of my former colleagues in the DA's office or the Attorney General's office who believe that this should have been charged as a murder. I mean, it blew up.
Right. So given what was presented publicly, the evidence or lack thereof, what would have been with that material, like the ideal outcome for the victim in your mind?
I mean,
and exactly like them as a Djuna, that they added that charge to get her to plea, so we wouldn't learn about the corruption. Exactly. That's why they added the murder charge, so that she would plead to the manslaughter. Because remember, it'll be an episode if she doesn't take a plea.
So one thing that is, I think, the worst thing to do to a family, and one of the things that we're taught as prosecutors, is never make a promise that you can't keep. And so don't tell a family, I can get you a murder conviction on this, she'll go to prison for life without parole, and put that in their head. It's much better to tell them, this is the best outcome here's all the evidence that we have. Here's A problem, B problem, C problem. Here's the best we think we can do, and let's try to get you that. And there's many things to consider. How long do you want this to be open? Is it, are you okay with this lasting a really, really long time? Or do you really just need to be able to move on? So sometimes it's conversations with the family about that, but really it's not overpromising. And certainly the decision to retry the case, I think, especially that day, was really cruel. Typically, what would happen after you got a hung jury like that? You go back to your office, you take a couple weeks, you bring in all your experts, you review what the evidence was, what you have, and you try.
But you said there was probable cause. You said that, and I'm so sick of this whole manslaughter is okay, but murder's too far. Your theory is that she went 24 miles an hour in reverse. That cannot be an accident. It's either murder or nothing. I'm so sick of the manslaughter thing with these people that think they're being like King Solomon and splitting the baby down the middle. No, that's actually more retarded. I respect you more if you say it's murder. Because at least then it doesn't make, John wasn't hit by a car, so it makes no sense in that aspect. But it makes more sense than manslaughter. Get in a car and go 24 miles an hour. Just fucking try it. I've done it before. That's not something that happens by accident. That is intentional. According to their own theory, she pulled up 62 feet just to gain momentum and then run into him. How the fuck could that be an accident? How the fuck could that be manslaughter? That is like the most cold-blooded of cold-blooded murders if that's what she actually did. But she didn't. Okay? It's like Glaire says, spineless fence riding. Like, think how insane that is. Like, that is just as bad as stabbing someone 1,000,000 times. Driving into them full speed in reverse at that speed. If, you know what I mean? That's why there's probable cause. Well, if there's probable cause, that means there's probable cause for murder too. These people, man, makes no sense. No, there's no probable cause, stupid.
Trying to make a deal, because clearly a prosecutor has an ethical obligation not to bring a case that they don't believe that they can prove beyond a reasonable doubt. After you have a hung jury, in this particular way this hung jury came out, which is clearly they were not satisfied with the evidence, you clearly can't really make that burden unless you're going to make your case much better. So then the obligation is to go back and try to get something out of it for the family.
Right, but we got that statement from the DA that we plan to retry this case within hours.
Exactly. And that was yet another red flag for me. That was a decision that was based on ego, and that it was more important for the district attorney to be right than it was to serve justice, and that was incredibly appalling to me. And that's why at the time I called for the district attorney's resignation right then, partly because of that decision, partly because of everything that had gone before, and also by then we knew about the first round of the Trooper Proctor texts. And in my mind, there is no no way that people in the district attorney's office at the highest level did not know who Trooper Proctor was. There is no way, because they physically worked in the same building. You know, they were having lunch together, smoking cigarettes in the front of the building, you know, having drinks after work, and working together literally on these cases. I just, to me, the failure to do something about Trooper Proctor much before this is
so much static. Hold on. Hopefully it's fixed. Is it fixed? All right, it's fixed. Okay, good. It's fixed. All right, we're good. Back to this.
is appalling, because somebody doesn't wake up one day and start saying all those kinds of things and texting all those things.
Well,
That
no,
to me is
the messages were, decade old.
Yes.
We'll get to Proctor in 1 minute, but I want to just get
Sure,
your
sure.
kind of final statement on DA Morrissey. What's your current position on him and his role and how he's handled the public pressure the last 3 years?
I think after the second round of the Trooper Proctor text, I called for his resignation again. He just has not served the community well at all, and I think in part that's because he was never a professional prosecutor himself. He was a politician first, and that has played an enormous role in the decisions that he made, or at least it appears so. I've heard from many families during this campaign about mistreatment by the district attorney's office, unfair treatment. Mistreatment meaning just being mean and disrespectful to families of who have had very serious things happen to them or their children, and then hiding from digging his heels in. When the job of the prosecutor is to keep an open mind. You are always supposed to keep an open mind to the evidence so that you don't make biased decisions.
And my final pin in the Karen Reed question is, if you were elected to this position, you have a lot of people and very vocal people in that county who believe that somebody else killed John O'Keefe. How do you deal with those calls, and what would your plan be if you're getting calls to reopen an investigation?
So, first things first. Anytime anyone dies, it's a tragedy,
right?
And especially when someone is committed to public service and they're a family, and they're a family man taking care of his niece and nephew, it is an incredibly tragic story, and everyone deserves justice, no matter who they are. So, but the problem is, the district attorney and the police made so many mistakes in this case that the only way anyone else could ever be convicted is to have some kind of perfect evidence that would be absolutely unassailable.
That no one has discovered
That no one
yet?
has yet
Okay.
discovered, like a video of literally showing him being actually killed.
So-
and the likelihood of us finding such a thing is virtually impossible.
Oh, so she wouldn't reopen the John O'Keefe investigation into his murder unless there was a video. So unless Colin Albert videotaped the whole thing, we're shit out of luck. Or you could, do your fucking job and start questioning these people. You can do whatever you want. You're the DA. If you think there's probable cause that Karen Reed did this, there's plenty of probable cause that they did it. Maybe not enough to convict now. Maybe not enough. Because who do, you know what I mean? But you start putting some charges on these people, they'll start turning on each other. They will start turning on each other. I'm telling you right now. But that is such a defeat. Why would you vote for her? What is the appeal of this woman? That's what I don't get. And I want to show you this tweet. Cryford's defending her. So this Joey Bag of Donuts guy, who's also a pussy, who defended 5150. He blocked me, and then he worshiped me for a while. He's one of these people in my inbox telling me how great I was throughout the whole trial and everything, and then sided with my psychotic ex-girlfriend, and then said I was bad, and then kind of that got stale, and he unblocked me, and then he said something stupid last week, and I went at it with him. He's always a victim, all these idiots. So anyway, so he's right today, though. Yeah, geofence data, exactly. I'm like, let the record reflect. I've been saying Djuna Perkins was full of shit since day one. Deitch and Connor are the only ones running for district attorney. The others are there to take votes away from Deitch, so handpick replacement Greg Connor stands a chance. That is 1,000% accurate. That is, this tweet is 1,000% accurate, what he just said right there. Okay? But as I got to be honest with you. The front runner, I think, if I were betting, if you were to be gun to your head, you better get this right, who's going to win this election? I'd feel pretty confident right now, unless something changes, Greg Connor. And I'm just saying that because he's got all the union endorsements, and he's got the Morrissey machine behind him. He's got the Morrissey money. He's campaigning with Michael Chestnut's mother. That has political clout to it. So the world is not the internet. And this woman, Djuna Perkins, is racking up endorsements from Quincy city councilors, a lot of other elected officials, stuff like that. I don't know what endorsements Adam Deitch has. which is these are important things in elections. Like if you want to mobilize the vote and get out the vote, you need endorsements, man. And lots of them. I don't know. Now, she has absolutely taken votes away from Adam Deitch. He's also taken votes away from her, right? But I think we can all agree Adam Deitch is a better candidate than her. And if so, she had any dignity, she would drop out of the race. Because she is, the other ones, none of them are going to get any votes. She is. And so she says that. And Cryford says she's going to win. Deitch has zero chance. She's not going to win. Greg Connor's going to win unless something changes. And I don't want to be Nancy negative, but that's because of her presence in this race. Greg Connor's going to win. Goes on to say, so Joey Bag of Donuts says, all that does is confirm what I'm trying to say. She was chosen to run, which is why she won't speak the truth about Karen Reed. If she's elected, she will do nothing about corruption. Zero. Exactly. She's made that pretty clear that she is milquetoast and not going to rock the boat. Not going to reopen the case. You know, not going to prosecute Matthew Farwell. Whatever. Karen Reed, probable cause. Let's do it. Run it back. Chosen to win by who? When Morrissey had no opponents, she's a Morrissey plant who called for his resignation a year before Adam Deitch did. If she's not elected, Greg Connor is the DA. What? Bro, if you believe this intelligent woman actually believes PC existed, that a vehicle struck John O'Keefe, I have no words. And if you don't believe her, what the fuck are you defending here? Exactly. Turtle and me and everybody thought she did the accidental death when she was charged. Turtle and me. Yeah, before I fucking saw the autopsy photos, dumbass. Djuna Perkins has seen the autopsy photos. She has watched 2 trials, okay? When I initially assumed that Karen Reed hit John O'Keefe with her car, that was in February of 2022, before any information was out there. So that's the most retarded analogy I've ever heard, Cryford. Or is this, yeah. Turtle and me and everybody thought she did the accidental death when she was charged. Yes. But she needed to know what nobody else did. What? He's so retarded. What the fuck does this mean? Is she bullshitting to get elected? Or does this bright attorney, after 2 televised trials, actually believe PC existed? Nobody is talking about what some YouTubers believed back in 2023, 2022, actually. We're talking, and again, Cryford also knew all the facts of the case, and he still said Karen Reed was guilty because Krusty Panty scared him when I went to jail. Either she's stupid or she's pandering to Morrissey. Which is it? It was pandering to Morrissey while she asked for his resignation a year before anyone else running. This is why I think you all are in a fever dream, not paying attention to details that matter. Yeah, you're right about everything. Eric D says she can play spoiler. That's all. You think you know better than Rita Lombardi, who actually ran a campaign? I love Rita. And I'm told Rita is backing Djuna. Unfortunate, but I still love Rita, you know? But as Eric D points out here, he's like, I do think I know better, but everyone is entitled to their opinion, and Rita didn't win. And I'm not happy about that, but she didn't win. Now, this shit doesn't matter. When somebody pointed this out, they're like 138 views on this one, 398 views, 3.1 thousand. Though that doesn't translate to votes, though. We need votes. We need votes. We need people, and you need organization. Man, I've seen enough politics, like it doesn't matter who the candidate is. It matters what the machine behind the candidate is doing. On election day, how do you get, this is a science, man. People who have done this before, who have organized campaigns, they know how this shit works. You need to get people to the polls. You have to call them all day long. You have to give them rides, right? You have to get them there. They have to get there. They have to vote, and then they go home. And you give them their cheese sandwich, and then that's it. So this shit about the views, that doesn't matter to me. That means shit. That means the internet wants Adam Deitch to win. Why do you think she'll win? Somebody says, I'm in Norfolk County. All Deitch signs. See, that doesn't mean shit either. The signs don't mean shit. Also, she wears that Handmaid's Tale blue collar, which is creepy. And he goes, I'm curious what towns. I sometimes drive through the western part of the district. The Needham area. That's not the western part. The western part's like Bellingham, dipshit. Needham areas, haven't seen one Deitch sign, but I have seen Connor and Djuna signs. Hoping to hit some towns and count signs I see. Like an informal poll. Maybe this weekend. Hit some random towns and count the signs. Yeah, okay. The most important municipality by far in Norfolk County is Quincy, because that's the population center. That's where Michael Morrissey's from. Quincy is the size. It has what, 100,000 people live in Quincy? What's Quincy's population? Let's see Quincy population. Quincy mass population. Actually, let's look at all the towns. Kind of want to look at this. Their population is 103,000. Norfolk County, Mass. Okay. All right. Let's just go in the Wikipedia page so we can organize this. So we can see how this election needs to be won. Yeah, go count your signs, Cryford. All right. Okay. No, wait. Huh. A lot of white people. Okay. Definitely more Asian people than black. All right. It's interesting. For whatever that's worth. Okay. Here's the towns. Population. Let's go. All right. So Quincy, which they only have at 91,000 there. That's the big one, right? The next biggest town is Brookline. So I hope they're campaigning in those two places. I hope Adam Deitch is, especially Brookline. Quincy's tough. That's going to be Morrissey's. Morrissey's from Quincy. He's from the biggest town or city in this whole thing. So Greg Connor is going to win Quincy. And that's a problem because Quincy is bigger than most of these towns combined, like several of them. Like if you combine Franklin and Needham, it's less than Quincy. So then you got Brookline and then Weymouth. And again, Weymouth he's campaigning. Greg Connor is campaigning with Mimi Chestnut, who I love. You know, I don't agree with her endorsing Greg Connor. Much respect for her son. And she is supporting him because he was the prosecutor that put away the animal that killed Michael Chestnut, Weymouth police officer. And so that carries a lot of clout with it, man. Like I guarantee a lot of Weymouth cops are going to vote and people that are with them, they're going to vote in their social, they're going to vote and they're going to vote for Greg Connor. And so right away, Quincy and Weymouth, those are like Greg Connor's strongholds. Brookline is different. Brookline is like uppity and it's an island on Norfolk County. It doesn't touch any other towns in Norfolk County. It's like very rich, very wealthy. And it's like basically Boston. And so that's not like typical good old boys of Norfolk County. I would think that's an area Adam Deitch can do well in, you know, is Brookline. I hope he nails Brookline. He needs to establish that one. Okay. What else? Braintree. That's another one. I mean, that's where John O'Keefe's family's from. You understand, like, the networks in these towns? The people in these towns have never heard of Adam Deitch before. Then you got Randolph. You know, Mike Proctor feels about Randolph. Then Franklin. Now that's further west. Get out there. Needham. Needham's one. Again, Needham's like wealthier. That's a town that Adam Deitch can do well in, I think. I think Adam Deitch is going to do well in the more educated, wealthy towns. I think that's where that's going to be his base. He's going to do well. But the population center, I'm telling you, Weymouth and Quincy are the control this county. Then you're going to have Wellesley. He can do well there. Norwood, that's going to be tough because that's like Nicarino's territory. Stoughton, Milton, Milton, that's real. It's next to Quincy, though. Morrissey's popular there. I don't know. Dedham, how's that going to work? Spent a lot of time in I don't know. Walpole, 23,000. Oh, Chestnut Hill's in there. So that's Newton. That's part of Newton. Okay. All right. Canton, I don't know. I think Adam Deitch will win Canton. I do. You got Norwood, Emily? You got to nail that down for us? Good. We got to win Norwood. Got to win. I think he's going to win. I do think Adam Deitch will win Canton. Sharon. I don't know. Remember, a lot of Jewish people. I think Adam Deitch could do well in Sharon. I think he could do well there. Foxborough, very liberal town. Bellingham, moving west. Now we're getting smaller and smaller. Westwood, Medway, Medfield, Norfolk. As the population gets smaller and smaller, the town becomes like less relevant politically. Holbrook, Plainville only has 8,000 people. Millis and Cohasset. So again, you could win Cohasset, Millis, and Plainville, and Holbrook and Rentham combined 20,000, 35,000, 42,000. That's all less than Weymouth and Norfolk. That's equal to Weymouth. And then add Medfield, Medway, and Westwood. All of them combined are Quincy. So like Quincy is telling you, this is why I think this is why it's an uphill battle. It's an uphill battle. I'm telling you right now, but we'll see. He's got to work his ass off. And I hope he's out there every fucking day. That's why this is an uphill battle, man. Uphill battle. All right, let me watch some more of this stupid interview with this idiot. Because she talks about me.
Very unlikely given the amount of investigation that's already gone on. And because of that, anyone you prosecuted now would be able to make all the arguments that Karen Reed made, plus be able to argue, it wasn't me, it was Karen Reed. The DA's office believed it, the police believed it, and that's beyond a reasonable doubt. So again, you're at this point where you should not promise.
That's
the
true.
lawyer's job is not to tell you what you want to hear. It's to tell you what you need to know. And that's also what a leader does, is tell you what you need to know. Sometimes those decisions are unpopular, but that is the job.
Let's get to Michael Proctor. Two-part question. One is, how would you have handled his situation differently if you had been in charge at the time? And then looking to the future, whoever's elected to this position is going to have to deal with a continuous fallout from his text messages that would come out. So what's your plan?
So I think, first of all, I would have a policy where all staff are required to report any suspected police misconduct, which includes things like these text messages. The problem with them is that they show bias they show that this person despises a tremendous number of people who live in our community that he is supposed to be helping. And so that's a problem. And so I would have a policy that would require staff to report that. And then as soon as I learned about it, that would be reported to his institute, to their employer. And also I would have asked for his reassignment immediately. The district attorney is not the supervisor of the state police, but they do have influence over which troopers get assigned to that unit.
Right. They can't get him fired, but they can get him out of their office.
Right. And they can also report to the post commission. They can also put that person on the Brady list, which is the list of police officers who have been so discredited by their misconduct.
Which now this all has happened.
Yes, exactly. So I would have done all those things. There's also questions about what to have done with his evidence in the trial.
Right.
As a trial lawyer, what you would do is you would try to minimize his role in the trial and bring it out first yourself. That's kind of common techniques. And then beyond that, I believe that most of them have actually already been reassigned, but anybody who works under Sergeant Buchanan during the relevant time periods we're talking about, I would ask for reassignment, to be reassigned. And then there's the question of all the cases that are impacted by Trooper Proctor.
Brian Walsh.
Exactly. I think that those cases, it's just like the crime lab scandal. We're gonna have to pull all of those cases
about is Aidan Kearney's case.
Oh boy, here we
Turtleboy,
go.
He's facing a number of witness intimidation.
Here we go.
Set to go to trial, honestly, right around the time the next DA would be getting sworn in. What would your plan be for those cases?
So I would certainly look at them all, because I definitely, I cannot say that I know the ins and outs of most, if not all of those cases. The one I really,
There's only one case. There's one case. All of those cases. She's like, I don't know all the ins and outs of all the. There's just one case. It's the witness intimidation. That's it. There's the window one too, but don't worry about that one. Let's focus on the witness. Like, and wait do you see what she says?
they're definitely, from what I have seen, there are some that may not meet the definition of the crime.
So she's just so gutless. There's some that may not meet the definition of crime. Which one? So there's only one charge, the witness intimidation. Which one does not? She clearly does not think I should be charged. She clearly thinks that, but she won't say it. She won't just say it.
There may be others that do. So I think it would take
there may be others that do
review of each one of those cases.
And you think you would do that?
Like which ones would?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I would look.
I think that's fair, because I think that at least some of those cases, I believe to have been influenced by the same kind of ego-driven decisions of the Karen Reed case. Like
yes, exactly. The ego-driven decisions of the Karen Reed case. Then that's it. Then you just drop it. You just drop the charges. Just drop it. Anybody who says that, people are gonna love. By the way,
to dig your heels in, you just can't let go, and so everything you just keep spinning and spinning on the same things. But I've seen some of what what Aidan Kearney has written on X, and I think it's appalling. And the way he talks about people, the way he talks about women, that is not journalism, and that is not free speech. That is just cruel. So whether that's criminal,
that is not journalism and not free speech. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. It's not journal. Yeah, not everything I say on Twitter is journalism. Sometimes I just talk that shit. But I've done significant amounts of journalism, dear. More than you could ever imagine. I mean, you could tell she's just a lib that doesn't like me because I'm not her. I'm like a white guy that voted for Trump. Like she can't contain her bias against me because of that. And again, what'd she say about me?
Question, right? On X, and I think it's appalling. And the way he talks about people, the way he talks about
okay, so what did I say?
Women.
Hold on
the same things. But I've seen some of what what Aidan Kearney has written on X, and I think it's appalling. And
it's appalling.
The way he talks about people, the way he talks about women.
The way I talk about women. Time out there. Who's a woman? Karen Reed. Karen Reed was being framed by a bunch of skinhead white males, right? All men. Michael Morrissey, Michael Proctor, Yuri Buchanan, Brian Tully, Brian Albert, Brian Higgins, Colin. I mean, you name it. They all framed her for murder, and I stood up for her. A woman, by the way, a woman. Because I stood up for Karen Reed, those same racist state police officers charged me and indicted me and put me in jail because I stood up for a woman. But I'm anti-woman? Are you fucking kidding me? First of all, listen, lady, bitches love me. I'm very popular with women. I have a very high popularity rating with women. It's kind of a problem. It's kind of my weakness, right? It's almost too high. All right. So relax there with the Turtleboy hates women shit. You've been listening to too much Machado. Relax there, girl power. Okay. Jesus Christ.
That is not journalism, and that is not free speech. That is just cruel. So
that is not free speech. It actually is free speech. Being even if you find what I'm saying offensive, it's still free speech. So I don't think you understand how the First Amendment works, dear. And then she says this. She's like trying to be offensive or so bad. Like she's so afraid to be like, it doesn't matter if you like the things that I'm saying. Like none of that's relevant. None of that is relevant to anything. Like why even point that out? Exactly. Bitches love me. Like, are you kidding me? Have you seen the hose? Like it's not a problem. Not like why would that be? And it's not like I like disrespect them either. Like I'm out here being like, oh, this bitch. Like only if they hack into my shit. You know, maybe she saw some of that. I don't know. Djuna, she hacked into my shit. I don't know what you want me to say. She sent out nudes. She sent out my phone extraction. She did a lot of shit. It was fucked up. I stood up for Karen Reed, who's a woman.
Whether or not it's criminal is another question.
Right.
Whether or not it's,
I would definitely take a look at it.
whether or not it's criminal is another question. It's actually not. It's not criminal. It's really simple. That's it.
Let me see. Let me just check my notes quickly to make sure I'm
Yeah, you do that, dear.
up to date. I want to make sure I'm asking you all the things I wanted to.
Yeah, like
I did happen to notice. I looked through everybody's campaign contributions. I noticed one name on yours that stuck out to me is Rita.
and like the sluts. There's no more marginalized group of women than sluts. Sluts get nobody like. No one is ever out there being like, oh man, like pro slut. Everyone's just like, don't, sluts are bad. It's got like a negative connotation to it. I have single-handedly I have liberated sluts. That's what I do. Sluts are welcomed here. Okay. Sluts. This is like a slut island. All right. Every other place in the world vilifies sluts. Slut. I mean, it is a bad word. It's like a negative. Oh, you fucking slut. No, you say that around here. We say, thank you. You're goddamn right. You're goddamn fucking right. I am. You better fucking believe it. Like, what does that mean? I know how to fuck. That's what I mean. Then so what's wrong with being a slut? I like sex and I'm good at it and I can please a man because that's what, if you're a slut, that means guys want to bang you, right? So what's wrong with that? Right? It's like for guys, men are all sluts. Like we're all fucking men. You know what I mean? It's like, so, but it's bad when we do it. We're not sluts. What's wrong with sluts? Can we stop acting like guys don't love sluts? Guys fucking love sluts. That's why they're sluts, right? If guys weren't willing to bang them, then they wouldn't be sluts. Clearly guys enjoy sluts, right? Or else they wouldn't be getting so much action and we wouldn't be calling them sluts. So can we just stop it with the sluts are bad thing? Clearly sluts are well liked and well received. Clearly. I think it's worse. And it's like pro women to say that. Like I'm all about liberating sluts. Why are we acting like this is like a horrible thing? Like, oh no, sluts are bad. No, they're not. They're actually really cool. So shame on you, Djuna Perkins. Shame on you.
Lombardi. Do you know her personally? I'm curious. She was a very vocal leader in the Free Karen Reed movement. She kind of took a backseat in trial number 2, but you know, that's kind of how she's known in the area. Have you had conversations with her?
Yes. Yeah. So she, I first was introduced to her by a state representative, actually.
Okay.
And then I was on a podcast, and she was the guest after me, and she was saying all these.
We need like a sluts for Deitch. Sluts for Deitch. Trust me, he doesn't want you, but sluts for Deitch anyway. Go ahead.
Incredibly positive things about me, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. So yes, I have met her. She has supported candidates who are similar to me in Canton. She's a Canton resident.
Right.
So, and
she's run for office.
Oh,
unsuccessfully, she ran for select board.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, she has supported some of the same candidates who also support and endorse me in Canton. And I think Cantonians were rightly, really, really upset about what had been going on in their community for a long time.
I can just picture. Is Cryford's girlfriend friends with Djuna? Is that what this is about? I think I figured this. That would make so much more sense if they were in like the same bridge club or something. Because they graduated from high school like 2 years apart. Djuna was younger, but Djuna was like a sophomore when Cryford's girlfriend graduated from. I'm just saying.
So yeah, I mean,
there we go. Again, another question I'm making sure I ask everybody. Who do you consider to be your biggest competition in this race and why?
Yeah, well, I think that Michael.
This is a great question. All right. And so I do like this question from Kristina Rex. And there's a correct, she asked them all this question, and there's a correct way to answer this as a politician. Okay. Who do you consider your biggest competition? And the answer to that, you have to project confidence. You have to project confidence, right? And you have to say, I don't have any competition. I'm the competition. That's the correct answer. You have to project confidence, because if you say that somebody else is your biggest competition, right, then you are giving them a free endorsement of sorts, aren't you? You're being like, that's the guy. I mean, it's Greg Connor. Like, I don't want, but you don't say that part out loud if you're them. You have to project confidence. That's what you got to do.
Morrissey's handpicked successor is probably the lead opponent, and I think that's because he has Michael Morrissey's support.
And that's Greg Connor.
And that's Greg Connor. He has Michael Morrissey's support. He's been in the office for a long time. The district attorney is advocating on his behalf, making phone calls to other politicians and other elected influencers, introducing him to fundraising outlets. So yeah, I think that he is the most likely primary,
And you think that influence of D.A. Morrissey still sticks in the community just in the last few years?
Absolutely. I think there's people who, a lot of people still know Michael Morrissey. A lot of people still are, owe him thanks for getting him out of scrapes and or helping them get jobs. So I think there is a lot of that influence there, but also our county is changing and it's a lot different. And I definitely feel like all over our county, we are seeing town after town change their leadership based on from entrenched politicians to candidates who really are not politicians, but they're just sitting in their homes and looking outside and saying, we need to fix this. And that's why I believe so many of them have endorsed me, because they are change makers themselves. And I think that they see in other change makers me. And yeah.
Okay. My final question,
sure,
which again, I'm asking everyone, and it requires my phone, is that I'm going to give you 30 seconds for your final.
This does not go well. So that's true. She does have a lot of endorsements from other elected officials.
Elevator pitch, whatever you want to get in. Okay, ready and go.
I think, can we start again?
You have 25 seconds. You got it. Go ahead. Just what do you want people to know?
So I think justice is really important to me. I became a lawyer to be the voice for others that I hadn't had for myself as a kid. I had a pretty tough childhood. My mother died by suicide when I was a baby. And
sorry to hear that.
So I decided to run because everyone deserves justice and no one is above the law. And I think that's why so many people have endorsed me, including Scott Harshbarger, Ralph Martin.
I have to call you that time.
Okay.
There you go, though. You got that. I gave you 30 seconds. I did read about your story.
She pulled a Lally. She couldn't get it done in 30 seconds. I mean, she's socially awkward and shit. She's not a politician. She's boring, dude. She's boring. She's not cutting it. And so let's watch. I'm going to watch Greg Connors next, okay? I watched his whole thing today. This fucking guy. Before we do that, I got to take a leak real quick. All right, I'm going to play Jill Daniels. We always play when I'm gone now, so we don't have any dead air. Well, Jill Daniels. Ready?
Oh boy.
Oh, look who it is. Look
You're
who she
a
is.
fucking prick.
Here she is.
You know what? I'm so sick of your shit.
Oh my God. Wow.
Enough is enough. You're a prick. No. How's your kids? How's your kids? They must be so proud of their dad.
That's assault, Jill.
Give him the phone.
Give him his phone back.
Fuck off, Big Bird.
Give him his phone back.
You look fatter than me.
I'm going to need my phone back.
Nobody cares.
Fuck.
Give him his phone. Just hand it over.
Where's your top lip? Where's your top lip? And I'm sorry, didn't you go loopy? Didn't you go crazy? Give him his fuck up! No one asked you!
Give him his phone. You have his property. That's enough. Give him his phone.
Go ahead and touch it.
Give him his phone.
Give my phone back, Jill. Don't do it.
You can't steal his phone. Are you kidding me? There you go.
Okay.
Holy shit!
That's happened in this real life.
You are a loser. Piece of shit. I have wrinkles. I don't care, but guess what? I have a good heart. You are a prick. You're going to jail. And I
How is
cannot
the police
wait. And
not
guess
come
what?
yet?
You're going to be with your boyfriend because this prick is going to jail.
I mean, I'll be with my boyfriend longer than you will. You're just gonna die.
Okay, don't even worry about it. She's not worried.
You are. I'm a psycho.
Just let her talk. Just let her talk.
You're the one yelling right now.
Just let her talk.
You're the one yelling right now.
Just let her talk.
Guess
Don't
what?
even talk
He's cheating
back.
on
Don't
you.
even talk back.
He's
Don't
cheating
even
on
talk
you.
back.
What the fuck are you
Don't even
taping?
talk back. Who are you yelling at?
Who are you? Like, look at you. How many times you got punched in the nose? What are your teeth? You make fun of my teeth? Yours and shit. Like,
Mostly your skin. Okay.
my skin, I have wrinkles. I don't care. Guess what? I stick up for my family. How many siblings do you have? Has anyone stuck up for you? No, they don't like you. They don't like you.
You say so.
You guys can all tame me. Like, why are you taming me?
I can't imagine why.
You're running up and assaulting people.
I'm so sick of
Your
harassing
behavior
my
is
family.
no one's harassing anyone. I'm just trying to eat dinner.
Why are you here? You don't
I'm
live here.
hungry
How
because
the
they
fuck
serve
has this
food
been
in
17
here.
minutes and no police?
Because I want food.
How is this allowed?
Hey,
How
no
is this
idea.
happening?
Well, why don't you just leave everyone alone?
I am. I'm just trying to eat food.
Why are you out here?
17 minutes now.
Well, what the hell? But like a person, Jim Ferris comes up to me. Let's be human though. Let's be a person. Why are you so involved? Why are you so involved in my family's life? Why don't you find your own business? No, they did not. Did. Were you obviously killed John O'Keefe? No, they did not. I was not there, but Colin was. I did not kill John. Colin was not there. Who?
So he got assaulted. He got
I
assaulted
took his phone. That's why Ryan.
Here we go. Finally, 17 minutes later, guys.
Thank you.
Like, that's why he told me. Why do you care?
Shit.
You didn't know John. Why do you care?
All right. So I didn't know John. So why do I care about murder? I don't know. It fucking bothers me slightly. Okay. Anyway, let's check out Greg Connors.
Jury.
Fat Boys. Okay. So let's see what Fat Boy has to say here. Look at him.
Financing as a public employee, and in order to do it in an ethical manner, I wanted to make sure I didn't commit any problems, and I left the office.
So since you were at the office for 25 years, was running to be the district attorney always on your radar, or was there some catalyst that made you decide to do it?
There were a couple different catalysts. You know, did I have...
Actually, before we play this, let me read some turtle chats here. Little turtle chat break. So we like to do things. I don't want to miss anyone. Okay. We have, let's see. Let me read some of these. Okay. Diane G sends $25, goes, chat rat pregame will never let you down, homie. I love the chat rats. How many subscribers do we have the chat rats up to now? Rat House Media. Go subscribe if you haven't done so already. Rat House Media. 9.5 thousand. So can we get them up to 10,000? They're the hottest pregame show on the internet. Go subscribe to Danny and Mary B and Dean in the chat rats. They're great people. Go give them a sub, will you? Thank you. Sturgeon James sent $10 and goes, where's the justice for Lizzie Dankert? Don't know who that is, but thank you. Sounds horrible. It says another cover up. Jennifer Harrison sends $25 and goes, listen up, Daddy. We're taking our summer vacay from Arizona to Massachusetts. And unfortunately, we cannot get off work for the golf tourney, but we want to support you while we're there. We would love to meet you. Do you have any other fundraising events happening in August or September? Yes. We have the bike ride in Marlboro, the Freedom Ride on August 15th that we've been advertising. So check that out. And or court hearings. I don't know about court hearings, but I would love to come to court and or support you any way we can. Love you and believe wholeheartedly in your fight. Free our Turtleboy. We got you from coast to coast. Well, thank you, Jennifer. Miss Jenny J sends $25 and goes, listen, Turtle, please ask Kristina Rasmussen to unblock me on Twitter. Pretty please. I'm one of the good guys. Give her an unblock. Just do it, Kristina. I unblock people all the time. Whenever they ask, I can't say no to an unblock. I can't do it. It's just, I don't care what they've said. They want to, you know what I mean? I give everybody a second chance. So give her a second chance. Sparkly Rabbit sends $25 and says, don't read this out loud. Okay. Yes. Cool. Thank you, Sparkly Rabbit. I got your text too. Thanks. Julie sends $10, goes, can you remind me the name of that young pregnant lady that died suspiciously? All signs pointed to it being her boyfriend and or ratchet mom who probably murdered her, but they got away with it. Yes, her name is Emily Nieves. That's EMELYNIEVES in Lowell. And horrible story. I'm telling you, that guy fucking killed her. I don't give a shit. Devontae Degree, piece of shit. So thank you for that one. Pilates runner sends $100 and goes, thanks, Pilates runner. Say, here's some ice cream money for the kiddos while on vacation. Have a wonderful time. I'd say more like lobster roll money. That's dope, man. Thank you. So I don't know if it's going to be as good as the lobster roll I got at the National Hotel in Block Island, but it's pretty fucking good. I love a lobster roll in the summer. Thank you. Will sends $5 and goes, fuck Bukaki and fuck Tully. Really fuck Tully. Jess, Nurse Kim, and Loophole are all crazy. Okay. I can't wait to share a beer in Marlboro with you. Well, thank you, Will Vital. I appreciate that very much. No comment on the others, but I appreciate that. Marilyn sends $50 and goes, I get great pleasure thinking about a drill sergeant yelling in Colin's face once his retarded ass can pass and make it to boot camp. Love you, Turtle. I know. He doesn't want to be there. It's not like he joined the military because he's like really wants to serve his country. Like, there's no way it's not like strategic. No way. All right. Woohoo Worldwide sends $25 goes, can you call it a bus stop live? Free Turtleboy. Thank you so much. Free Dr. Turtleboy. John Monagle sends $10 goes, there's a huge problem with Deitch winning in a crowded Democratic primary. I think he would have great appeal with Republican and independent voters, but I have talked to some independent voters and their top priority is to get Maura Healey out of office. For that reason, they're planning to take a Republican ballot to vote for their choice for governor. Oh, that's right. That's a good point. That is a good point. A lot of people are going to take the Republican ballot because they have a primary. That's right. For that reason, they're planning to take a Republican ballot. If they do that, they cannot vote for Deitch. One of my neighbors told me his top priority is to get Healey out of office. I got news for you. Can we just skip this part? I have really bad news for you guys. As a Republican and as a conservative, you guys want to hear a secret? You want to hear a secret? Spoiler alert, if you will. Maura Healey's going to win. Yeah, I know. If that's your top priority is to get Maura Healey out of office and you think it's realistic, you're retarded. I mean, I'm just saying, as somebody who hates Maura Healey and would love nothing more than for Maura Healey to lose, she's going to win by a lot. Next thing you know, you're going to be telling me, I hope Elizabeth Warren wins. Yeah, me too. I mean, I hope Elizabeth Warren loses. Me too. She's not going to lose. She's not going to lose. Like the same goes with whoever wins the Democratic primary for Senate. Ed Markey's running against Seth Moulton. But that's a good race too. I don't know who's going to win that primary. But whoever wins, they're going to win in November. Okay? So, like, one of these people, like, my number one priority is to take down Maura Healey. Then you're fucking retarded. If you actually believe. It's nice. I hope you vote against it. I'm going to vote whoever the Republican is. I'm voting for him. Okay? They're going to lose by a lot. It's not going to be close. I don't know if you know that. It's never close. It's never close. It's like you are in a distinct minority because you live in Massachusetts. Ain't gonna happen. So yeah. Anyway, one of my neighbors told me this top priority is to get Healey out. I think Deitch would have a much better chance of winning a general running as an independent in a two-man race. I agree with that. And would be able to get votes from Republicans and independents. Yeah. Although, not if he wins. If he wins the primary, he's in. We'll see. We'll see. Andy sends $50 and goes, I'm really going to miss you next week. Have a great vacation. I'm going to miss you too, Andy. It was great meeting you at the Wilbur too. It was awesome. So thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Nicole sends $10 and goes, love you, love you, Turtle Dove. Sorry, me again. Promoting the best football game in Australia. Last game out of 3, 1 and all tonight is the decider. It'll be something to watch. Brutal. Okay. Yeah. I mean, the football matches today, Colombia, my guys, that's what I was rooting for. They're out. They lost in penalty kicks to Switzerland for some reason. Another interesting country. And then fucking Argentina, Egypt, bro. Egypt was up 2-0. They scored 3 goals. They had one turn back. I'm like, bro, Egypt is running train on Argentina. This is how Messi's career ends. Nope. Goal, goal, goal. Are you fucking kidding me, Argentina? And you just know it. I'm a Norway fan now. I was a Mexico fan, then I was a United States fan. Now I'm a Norway fan. I liked Colombia. They're out. Now I'm a Norway guy. I just have the favorites in all 4 matchups are heavy favorites. France, heavy favorite over Morocco. Definitely rooting for Morocco. I want Morocco to win. I think France is going to win. Spain, Belgium. I want Spain, and I think Spain's going to win. Fuck Belgium. I'm jealous of them. Okay. Spain's going to win. Go Lamine Yamal. I guess I want Spain. I like watching Lamine Yamal. I like him. He's fun. Go Spain. And then France. So I want Spain. I think it's going to be Spain. Then Spain's going to play France. I want Spain. It's going to be France. Okay. Then you go to the bottom of the bracket. You got England, Norway. Want Norway. It's going to be England. You just know it. You fucking know it. And then in the bottom there, you got Switzerland against Argentina. I guess I'm going for Switzerland. It's going to be Argentina. And then Argentina is going to play England. That's actually a good matchup. I guess if I had to pick of those two, I guess I'd just pick England because Argentina won it last time, but it's going to be Argentina. It's going to be an Argentina-France rematch, and France is going to win this time. France is the best team by a lot. Like it's very clear from watching all. I'm a big soccer fan. Big soccer. Everybody knows I'm a diehard soccer guru. And the best team by far is France, and it's not even that close. Argentina is the second best team. And then probably England and Spain are third and fourth. But we'll see. There we go. Cat's like, don't stop talking about soccer. It's really low class. Whoa, easy. Jesus Christ. I didn't know. So whatever. Okay. Anyway, I do love Haaland. He's just a freak that just walks. He just lurks. He lurks. He just walks around and just waits for a header to come up, and then he just fucking explodes. Like it's crazy. All right. So anyway, back to, any cash apps here to read too? Yeah, we got Carrie sends $5 and goes, is Mike blaming you for the air tag? I just went on his Twitter. He's got an air tag. I did not air tag his car. I don't even know where the fuck Crawford lives, nor do I care. All right. Anyway, let's listen to this idiot. If anyone else wants their messages read, click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat or cash at me $1 Uncle Turtleboy.
I have that wistful thought of yeah, I'd love to be the district attorney. But in the meantime, I've always just been doing my thing. Right. I've been concentrating on my cases. And then what wound up happening was after the Walsh case, I thought that my then boss, Michael Morrissey, was going to run for another term. And
when you say after the Walsh case, like after the conviction?
After the conviction.
Okay.
We never talked about it. But I just thought with his attitude and how happy he was that he was going to run for another term. And so it was about 2 weeks later, he decided that he wasn't. And it was about a week after that of a lot of soul searching, talking to my family, talking to friends. I had an outpouring of support from the defense bar as well as other prosecutors and police and also families of victims. And I decided to do it.
If DA Morrissey had run for another term, would you have challenged him?
No. So for
no. Then how bad do you want to, like, that's what I mean. Like, tell me your Morrissey's plant without telling me your Morrissey's plant. If Morrissey had run for re-election, would you run? No. I'm only running because he's not. That's literally it. All of the others would have run if Morrissey was running, except for him. So he basically says, right, like, I am the hand-picked, cleaned up version of Morrissey. That's what I am.
Last 18 months of my career, we were really concentrating on trying to correct problems that had occurred in the office as far as, the overcharging, I thought, in the Karen Reed case and evaluating cases in a more collaborative manner. And so what I was able to do with the last 18 months was set up these kind of collective meetings with police, advocates, and lawyers to evaluate cases before they were charged on the homicide level. Mm-hmm. And we would also do that before they were tried.
Always.
So if you could get through that gauntlet, we felt that you had the stamp of approval to charge a case. And it was really productive. And so with the last 18 months and also having tried the Walsh case, and I had a couple other cases that I really felt strongly about that I wanted to stick around and do, but unfortunately I had to leave to run. I would have
big shot.
You would have kept trying cases.
I would have kept trying cases. There were a couple that really meant a lot to me.
You brought up the Karen Reed case, and I think it's hard to ignore that case is probably the reason this field is so crowded.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons. Yeah.
There's 7 candidates running right now.
There are, and one independent.
Okay, 7 candidates running for the Democratic seat.
Yes.
That's a lot of people for district attorney's race.
Yes, it is. Yeah, in my lifetime, it's the most I've ever seen, and I've lived here, like I said, almost my entire life.
Right, you've been in the office for 25 years.
Yes, and I was an intern before that, so I've had the opportunity to be with.
For fuck's sake!
Yep. What would you have sought to charge her with?
So having not been in that grand jury, I can't tell you
what would you have
presented there. Mm-hmm. What I saw on the first trial, I would base my opinion on.
Okay.
So because my understanding is that in that case, they got past motions to dismiss for lack of a probable cause. So, but when I watched the first trial, I saw them litigating whether or not the truck hit John, not why the truck hit John.
Then you didn't watch the first trial. That's the exact opposite. In the second trial, they did that. In the first one, they didn't do that. In the first trial, listen to what he just says here.
And so, because my understanding is that in that case, they got past motions to dismiss for lack of a probable cause. So, but when I watched the first trial, I saw them litigating whether or not the truck hit John, not why the truck hit John.
Of course. Have you heard of the Sullivan sluts, sir? What do you think they were there to do? They were there to explain why the car hit John. That's what they were there to do. They didn't call the Sullivan sluts in the second trial because they were focused on, did the car hit John? That's why they got Judd Welcher and Manshannon. They didn't really focus on the why in the second trial. Neither party did. Both of them focused on what he just said. That happened in the second trial. The first trial was all about why. Like, that's what the prosecution tried to do.
And so to me, they were never litigating a homicide case. They were litigating the potential of a negligent or reckless motor vehicle homicide. So that's what I think that should have been charged. And that's how it was litigated.
So he thinks, so he agrees. It should have been charged as manslaughter. There you go. Again, another guy who thinks he's like being noble, being like, I'm a reformer. I wouldn't have charged her with murder, just manslaughter. That's even more retarded. Even more retarded. John O'Keefe wasn't hit by a car. And if he was, there's no way it was a fucking accident. Done.
And so I had concerns about the way it was charged when I was watching the trial.
So you would have thought to charge Karen Reed with negligent homicide or motor vehicle homicide?
Yeah, I think that's really what the trial was coming down to. But by the way, when you look at the second trial, they're not guilty. Now, that doesn't mean that it's necessary.
And then people are like, do the Sullivan sluts deserve the compliment of being called sluts? It's, you know, if I was, what's her name? I mean, I would just own it. The big shouldered one, Marietta Sullivan. John, what the fuck are you doing? I'm trying to fucking do what you can't, bitch. What the fuck does it look like? The reason your man's all over on me is clearly you're not giving it to him right. So I'm going to do that for you. That's what I would have said if I was Marietta Sullivan. Just own it. You know what I mean? Own your slutdom. Don't deny it. Don't deny yourself.
Thoroughly that it come within meets burden is what winds up happening. But I think that you have to listen to a jury in that and go, wow, there really wasn't evidence there for a homicide trial.
How do you think it would have turned out differently had the goal charge been negligent homicide?
I don't know. You know,
the phone's all the way over here. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, it's also like I wasn't in the deliberations. I don't know what was important to the jurors. Here's my personal philosophy on charging cases: is I think if you overcharge a case as a prosecutor, you lose credibility with the jury. And when you do that, it could be somewhat cancerous to the rest of your case. Okay. And so I believe that you should be conservative with your charging and charge what you believe you can prove. And so what they were really litigating was whether or not that truck hit John. And so I think on the second trial, when I looked at Hank Brennan's closing argument, there was some compelling evidence for that argument of like, did the truck hit John? Did John not make it inside? Mm-hmm. So I think that the evidence was there to present
wait.
Okay. And so I believe that you should be conservative with your charging and charge what you believe you can prove. And so what they were really litigating was whether or not that truck hit John. And so I think on the second trial, when I looked at Hank Brennan's closing argument, there was some compelling evidence for that argument of like, did the truck hit John? Did John not make it inside? Mm-hmm. So I think
there was compelling arguments. What the fuck are you talking about? Am I breathing on it? It's the mic cable. Is that what the problem is? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Should I just not touch it? That's what she said. Hold on. I got to hear how bad this is. It's not that bad. You guys are like fucking freaking out about the static. Like, relax with the static, guys. It's gonna go. Okay, just relax. It's not that bad. I just went back and listened to it. It's not that bad. Okay, it goes away. It goes away. It sucks, but it goes away. I don't know what to say. Anyway, back to this.
The evidence was there to present that charge at trial. That all made sense.
There was no evidence.
Homicide charge.
And given that you were in the office, obviously this wasn't your case, but
Right.
what was the dynamic like? You know, you were trying other high profile cases at the time. Whose call was it to go for the homicide charge? And what's it like to have worked in the office and not necessarily agreed with the approach?
Well, I mean, I think everyone's had a boss that they didn't agree with. Like, so that happens just in every workspace.
Mhm.
And so it's frustrating. You have faith that the people that are working on it know more about the situation than you do, and you defer to them. So that case was being prosecuted by a lead prosecutor. He was answering to the first assistant, and the first assistant was answering to the district attorney. So that was kind of the chain of command on that. And that was traditionally how homicides were done. And like I said, in the last 18 months of my career, once that first assistant retired, we kind of took a more collective or collaborative approach on how to charge and how to try cases. And I found it to be very productive.
Why didn't you get that case? Because you try a lot of the big homicides.
That's a good question. I don't know. I'll tell you what I think happened was I had just finished trying Tammy Galloway.
Okay.
And that was the first homicide trial since COVID. And we were really getting up on our two legs after that point. We're trying trials with masks on. We're using new equipment. We're getting through all this, handling other cases as well that were coming in. So, and I did do that. I watched the first trial. What I had done was I had set a schedule for our office where one of us would be able to walk.
Okay. I have to point out the Emmanuel Lopes case. I was there for the conviction.
Yes.
That was also 2 trials.
Are that jurors, that touches almost everybody. It came down that it was going to be a mistrial. It was devastating.
Okay, yeah. It talks about
So
me.
be it,
So he's going to talk about the Michael Chestnut trial, and this is his big thing. And you got Manuel Lopes, who literally killed Michael Chestnut and Vera Adams in broad daylight. Nobody disputes that. It doesn't get much easier than that. And he's like, I got a conviction. I also got Brian Walsh. Bitch, did you see the shit that he Googled? I could get Brian Walsh. These are not impressive convictions, in my opinion.
That probably felt like a more surmountable goal.
Pretty intense. In fact, I believe we had one day off in the third time.
Like, I think he is their best prosecutor in that office. And I think they kept him off of the Reed case for that reason. Because nobody can win the Karen Reed case. It's unwinnable because John O'Keefe wasn't hit by a car. So how do you work with that? What are you supposed to do with that? They wanted to keep his record unblemished because he was the one they were kind of like grooming for office. Like Adam Lally was not being groomed for shit. He's being groomed for being Hank, Brendan's coffee bitch. That's what he was groomed for.
There was a lot of this like going in your head, and then they did come back. So and it was, and I will say it was as devastating as it was for that hung jury in the first one. The sense of closure and completeness on the second one was amazing.
So it was worth it.
Oh yeah. If a coworker dies or is murdered and doing their job, no matter.
Another Karen Reed related question.
Yeah.
There's a number of people in your county,
Mhm.
as well as some pretty influential people outside your county, namely Karen Reed and her family, who don't want you to be elected.
Well, that's okay. I mean,
They think that you're the inside guy in
Yep.
what they consider to be a corrupt office. What's your response to that, and how do you handle it?
well, so the corrupt part, I take great exception with. 2024, I was named the prosecutor of the year by the state, and by the way, Karen Reed's still on at that time. My reputation,
Real
in the industry, I
impressed.
think, is excellent. Because other prosecutors, the defense bar, and the police look to me as a leader. And so I've never had been accused of corruption. I believe that I helped create our Brady List protocols. I helped create our conviction integrity unit. I did it with a retired judge who's now the vice chair of the ethics commission. So I went to people who were the gold standard in this, and they wanted to work with me to help create this stuff. So as far as people being critical of me, I mean, that's America. You have a right to have a voice. I think though there's no overwhelming support for me. And again, I didn't make this decision on my own. People asked me to do this.
People asked me to do this.
Tell me more about who.
Yeah,
who asked
tell
you to run
me.
that really made you want to do it.
Mimi Chestnut. Yeah. The
I was in their
chest.
kitchen.
That's just for context for viewers. That's
Yeah.
Sergeant
I was
Chestnut's
in their
parents.
kitchen.
Yep, Sergeant Chestnut's parents. I was having lunch.
I don't believe that for a second. He was just over there having lunch with the Chestnut parents, just randomly. And they're like, you should run for DA. They're the ones that told him to do it. Bullshit. I don't believe this story for a fucking second. I think he's using them to get elected. Because again, that's a very powerful family to have on your side.
In their kitchen about a week beforehand. And, we were catching up. Mimi and I try and talk about every 6 months or so. And that was a big one. And that was.
Yeah, it is a big one. That's a good question. Is Howie Carr, is he even covering this anymore? Is he endorsing anyone for Norfolk County DA? I don't know. I haven't talked to Howie in a long time. Ever since he showed up in the Twitter spaces with the, I think it was 5150 or Koala or somebody. I saw him like Howie Carr's faces in there. And I texted him and then I never heard back from him. And he's just not interested. I don't know what the fuck happened to him. So I guess he's done grifting off of this. I don't know.
That was one of the many people. There was a lot of police officers who reached out to me, and a lot of defense bar reached out to me, and they were like, we believe you're the guy, and so that you should be the next district attorney. And when victims' families say that to you, initially I was kind of like, well, it's flattering, but no, it made me think a lot about it. And it was not an easy decision, but it was one my family and I made.
You mentioned your work on the Brady list. So you walked me right into what's next, which is that the fallout from Michael Proctor's cases will fall in the hands of the next district attorney.
Yes.
There are many defense attorneys trying to get cases dismissed,
Oh, yeah.
overturned, you name it, because of his work on them.
Certainly.
How do you plan to handle that?
So we actually, before I left, we were already handling it. So just so everyone understands, a member of the Reed team, prosecution and defense, signed a non-protective order with the federal court, and they would look at those materials.
So you hadn't seen them?
No, and I still haven't.
Okay.
What I saw was entered in a court at that first trial. Once that was entered at court in the first trial, my office collectively disseminated that to everyone who had a case with Michael Proctor. So then if you go forward to the next case, which is the Miles King case, and Rosemary Scarpiccio gets an order from Judge Doolin to issue the production of his personal cell phone. That is turned over to the state police. They download it. They give it to the district attorney's office in about September of 2025. And once the review of that is discovered, that there's this bigoted, horrific series of messages, it was
Way that the public didn't have access to it.
right, because we have other
Okay.
So that's the ethical responsibility of the prosecution. The U.S. Attorney's Office got this in 2022. They still haven't turned it over.
Right. And that was under protective order.
That's from the federals.
Right.
Yeah. And I have never seen what other than what was entered in a trial.
Yeah.
It came out in the last month or so publicly from his personal phone, from a state case, the Miles.
The production of that phone.
So what does it say to you, or what are you implying, if anything, that the feds had that in 2022 and nobody's found out anything about it until now?
I can tell you that when we get this information, we have an affirmative responsibility to answer your question. Like, how is the DA's office going to handle this?
Right.
We have an affirmative responsibility to get it out there, and that's exactly what we've been doing.
Yeah.
Or what I was doing.
Okay,
Sure, like we want to make sure that every conviction we get is the right conviction. That's the nature of it. It's not to win at all costs. It's to do the right thing. I mean, I take an oath.
It's not to win at all costs. Then what were you doing with the Kearney case? That was literally what you were doing. Everybody knew she didn't do it, and you guys were just trying to win whatever, because it's like whatever, scoreboard. And by the way, you've had other bad cases that you've brought forward too. Penny McGee, that was not a good one to bring forward. I mean, there's been a lot of losses. You couldn't even get Dr. Turk on murder, and he did it. He admitted it. Couldn't even get him.
Assistant District Attorney, Dub.
With Michael Proctor that could have maybe, gotten him off these cases sooner to avoid that stain?
So what I saw from Michael Proctor is I worked with him specifically on 2 cases.
Okay,
Brian Walsh, and then there was another case that's still pending before I left, where he was on it for about 24 hours and didn't do anything.
Okay.
And so he was really a non-entity on that second case. And, what wound up happening was, not at all. I mean, I don't need a bigot. I don't need a misogynist. I don't need that person on my trial team. And, if there was a case if there was
Proctor
an issue that I
bad,
didn't know,
yeah.
but with the way the evidence had been presented and collected and worked on, he was a non-entity. In fact, it's interesting. He didn't testify. The defense was going to call.
Launch this. He's the online social media blogger known as Turtleboy.
Oh, here we go.
I want to move into another somewhat.
Here we go.
case
Turtleboy.
in the county, which is Aidan Kearney.
Oh, okay.
He's trying.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So again,
Yes,
everybody might watch
yes.
this. He's the online social media blogger known as Turtleboy.
Yep.
He's facing several counts of witness intimidation, and most likely I think because of delays, he's going to go to trial.
I know, like they couldn't get a better chair for them. Like, what is this setup in here? Like, what is this setup? This is the best WBZ could spring for. Okay. Anyway, what about me? What are you going to do with me?
Under whoever's the next VA. What would your plan be?
Well, so right now there is an independent prosecutor that's been hired by the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office, retired Judge Cosgrove, is prosecuting that case. And my understanding was he was hired because the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office, not Michael Morrissey, not anyone else, the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office was conflicted out, and that was determined by the BBO, the Board of Bar Overseers.
Okay, so
That was news to me when I first heard this today. They were conflicted out by the BBO. We didn't get those emails in discovery. I must have missed the emails with the BBO, in which the BBO says you can't prosecute this case and why.
That wasn't Michael Morrissey's call.
No, my understanding is that they went to the Board of Bar Overseers, got asked for an opinion. They said you're conflicted out, so you had to get another prosecutor. And so they eventually settled on retired Judge Cosgrove.
I mean, this is just insane. They're like, we got a special prosecutor for it. But who launched the investigation? You guys just hired, like, the special prosecutor was like the cherry on the top. You know what I mean? Like, the wheels were moving. We have your messages. Michael Proctor sending a text out September 3rd saying, what's the difference? Why aren't we just arresting him anyway? What's the difference? We got Buchanan emailing him back and forth. They were all building a case for witness intimidation. The Norfolk DA's office was. And then you're like, okay, we got him. The only thing we're missing now is a prosecutor. So let's find someone. And they settled for Mello. But Mello just works for them. Mello can't just drop Mello's not some like independent cowboy out here working on his own. Like Brian Tully, this is Brian Tully's show. It's always been Brian Tully's show and Krusty's. They're doing this for them. I mean, it's insane. This is just such.
And so, you know, if elected, I would just defer to the independent prosecutor. I don't think that you can interfere with that at this point in time. But there's been a decision that it's not.
You can't interfere with that, but you guys hired him. You guys, that the DA's office doesn't have the ability to. This is insane.
Attorney, it's the office. It's like that.
Retired Judge Cosgrove, I believe I noticed. Let me check my notes to make sure. I believe he donated to your campaign.
Well, I worked with Judge Cosgrove for about 10 years before.
Yes, he
judge.
did.
And he's an excellent judge. He's a very smart person. In fact, he was the person I used to go to for advice when I was in the DA's office.
So your position would be, as DA, you basically wouldn't put your hands in that case. You would leave it up to him.
I would leave it to the independent prosecutor, specifically because the BBO has said that there's a conflict. And so, like, I don't know if I can overcome what the Board of Bar Overseers has said.
What is that? Does that mean you want to overcome it? I mean, this is an interesting answer because he's not like saying that, like, you notice what he's not saying? He's not saying the company line that, like, he intimidated witnesses. He's not like out here be like Jennifer McCabe's a victim and this and that. I wish she pushed him on that to ask him about that. Like, do you think that he intimidated them? I don't know. He's basically just passing the buck and be like, ask Cosgrove. You know? Ask what the conflict was exactly. What was the conflict? Oh, the conflict was that he was accusing our office of being corrupt. That was the conflict. So we're not prosecuting him. We just hired someone to prosecute him, but it's not us. Just like, is Hank Brennan, was there a conflict with that too? Because you hired Hank Brennan.
Speaking of campaign contributions, I looked at yours, and you have raised the second most money in this race, I believe.
All right.
And a large percentage of your donors are people from Massachusetts, people from Norfolk County, and a lot of lawyers. You mentioned you had been contacted by, I noticed a lot of prominent defense attorneys on that list as well. Kevin Reddington was on there as having donated to you. What do you think that says about your campaign and the kind of DA you would be?
Well, I think it says, one, that the people from this county and from this state believe in me. And that's incredibly touching. Two, to have the defense bar support me means an awful lot, because I'll tell you, I got an opportunity to knock on doors and meet him with a retired public defender. And she and I were going on doors. And I never thought a public defender and a district attorney would be knocking on doors together. And she's like, this is the person you're going to vote for. Ethical person. This is the person you want. Now imagine that. A public defender who spent her entire career fighting with me is out there with me, shoulder to shoulder, asking people to vote for me. And so that means an awful lot. When you have the defense bar and you have people from this area saying that this is the person that they want as their next district attorney, it makes you get out there and work just as hard, if not harder than you could.
What would your staffing plan be? I know there's a lot of conversations when someone takes over as DA.
But you see what I'm saying though? Like every hack attorney, every connected person, Robert Cosgrove, the Chestnut family, like everybody is like, just like, this is the guy. They're like, yeah, cool. Like Morrissey, too dirty, whatever. We need to change. This guy will do. He's young Morrissey. Just same fatness, but less corruption. A cleaned up version of him. Right? Let's make this guy the DA. Like they ain't looking at Deitch and saying that, because Deitch is they're looking at him and they're like, he's not from around here. Who's this guy? He doesn't even go here. That's where they look at him.
Yeah, you know, are they going to clean house? Are they going to keep the people that are there? What would your plan be?
So I think having worked for 3 different district attorneys and been through transitions, I think that what you have to do is you get a
transitions.
And the transition team is usually made with
very
defense
progressive
counsel from the area, retired judges, sometimes retired police officers, retired advocates, people who are in the industry. And I think also you probably want to reach out to like community coalitions, faith-based groups, get that kind of input. And you have them evaluate everyone who wants to be a part of this. So people from the outside want to apply, people from the inside want to apply, and then you take that advice and you rely on that. And so, because what can happen is you can be in an echo chamber at times, and you can go like, well, this is how we're going to do it. And I think that that's what I want to avoid. Is I want to have a lot of different people collaboratively telling me like, how can we do things? That being said, have I seen excellent work by some of my former coworkers? Yeah, I have. Have I seen excellent work by prosecutors and defense attorneys outside this office that I think that would be wonderful additions to it? Yes, I have. So, but the first thing I got to do is win the race.
What's your position on your former boss right now, Michael Morrissey, and especially
Yeah.
how he's handled the last 3 years while the office has really been kind of under public pressure?
So I had the opportunity to see Michael Morrissey create initiatives that save lives. And so as a person who lives in Norfolk County, grew up in Norfolk County, I'll be forever grateful for that. So when I see what happened on the overdose epidemic and through
Oh, for fuck's sake, the overdose epidemic.
179
Oh
fatal
my
overdoses.
God. Oh God.
And now it's available to anyone almost.
Yeah.
I will say I got the opportunity and worked in the county and been able to, bring justice to this county. But be able to bring that to bear and like I said, the last 18 months, collaboratively work with
Being put on the medical examiner. You know, the medical examiner had ruled this a suicide.
Okay.
You really can't get around that. So what mistakes do you think were made?
All right. So there was this guy. Then there was like a couple others. Let me see if we if we can bang through a couple of these others real fast, because no one else can win. But this guy says Robert Juvinville, who's like 1,000 years old, has made it very clear he would drop the charges against me. So I would say vote for this guy 100%. But I mean, I don't think he's going to win.
Thank you for joining us and doing this. The question I'm starting with for everybody is, here you go. You can the last few years.
Okay, so I've known Mr. Morrissey a long time, and unfortunately for him, he listened to assistant district attorneys.
Tell me more.
Mr. Morrissey wasn't a trial lawyer. He listened to people that led him astray, and he didn't keep a tight leash on assistant district attorneys. And when you don't, the results are what we've seen. And a collapse of the morale of the office, incompetent investigations from the beginning. And in the Reed case, my view is she never should have been even charged with a crime based on that investigation.
You're walking me right into my next question. I want to go through a few cases.
She never should have been charged. See, this guy is great. The problem is he's 1,000 years old and no one's heard of him before, but he's really good. Like I would definitely vote for him. Like Juvinville is 1,000,000 times better than Djuna Perkins. And whatever, like this guy has told Bradel that I would drop the charges again. This is the guy I was telling you guys about. This is the one. He's the one that has made it clear. And Bradel's like, we got to get behind him. I'm like, bro, yeah, sure. Who's he? No one's heard of him. He's like the least known of all the candidates. I love him. I mean, he just says he says all the right answers. Like Karen Region never should have been charged.
I'd ask everybody this exact same question, which is, if you had been the district attorney back in January of 2022 when Officer O'Keefe's body was found on Brian Albert's front lawn in Canton, would you have sought to charge Karen Reed? And if so, with what charges?
Well, I would have looked, first of all, I would have had an investigation that wasn't compromised. You cannot have people investigating somebody for a crime who they hate. In other words, she's the target. We know she did it. Now let's find evidence that we can stick to her. It's the opposite of what you should do. Investigate first with an open mind, and then come to a conclusion whether you got enough to charge somebody. Now, in my view, she was overcharged and under-prosecuted and under-investigated. I've done over 70 murder cases in my career, and I didn't see much of a second-degree murder there at all. That was a stretch.
What about manslaughter?
I don't know why they did that. I have a theory. I've been in cases where people have been overcharged, and I hope it wasn't for the reason I'm thinking.
Which is
you overcharge somebody, you send the case to the jury. The jury says not guilty on the second degree. But now we'll give the DA something. We'll find her guilty down here.
Almost like a shoot for the moon, you land among the stars approach.
Problem with that
That is what they did.
Jurors can find you guilty for any reason. They don't have to answer to you or anything. They can find you guilty because they don't like the way you look. If they said guilty on that second, that woman would have been doing 25 years or more in state prison. You can't do that to people. That's
good for him.
Do you think you would have sought to charge her, knowing what you know about the investigation?
Not on that investigation.
Okay.
How do you charge a citizen of this Commonwealth with an investigation that the investigators hate somebody?
So with how the investigation went, you don't think anybody could have been charged?
No. Well, she couldn't have been because they hated her. So, first of all.
Oh, also, he wasn't hit by a car. That's the most important part. He wasn't hit by a car.
It is not the way to problem. They should have had independent investigators come in that case. People that knew the parties, hung out with the parties, should have been out of it. And fresh heads come in that didn't know anybody. Now let's look at the evidence. Unfortunately, I think, and if I'm, elected and I get sworn in, I'm going to review that whole case from top to bottom. Release whatever is in it to the public. I'm a big transparency guy on that. Everything goes out by law that I can let out.
Juvinville, my guy.
He's done such a terrible job, first of all, getting her into court. Overcharged. She could have been charged in the district court with negligent homicide in the district court. It would have been over in 3 or 4 months. If she was found guilty, she probably would have got probation. But they didn't. They wanted.
I don't like that.
The publicity around the case, I think, got under the skin of the DA's office, and they got mad. So we can get the ADAs talk to the DA, and we can do this. We can put a trial on it. Look.
Well, I don't think that's true. David Unetti's told me that they had no choice but to try to indict her. He's like, I knew they were going to try to indict her because you can't try manslaughter in district court. Manslaughter has to be tried in superior court.
You didn't have to be a lawyer to know after the first trial that case was going nowhere. Not the assistant DAs. We can win. We'll hire a special prosecutor. Nice fellow, I know him, but he never prosecuted before. If he said, Morris, he said to me, do you want to try prosecute? I said, Mike, I've never sat in that bench. I'm not trained as a prosecutor. And the guy they chose wasn't, because anywhere between $500 and $1 million. Rumored.
No, in fact, 500 and something thousand. Okay. We got his receipts.
Total waste of money. You get 50 assistant DAs in the office. You mean one of them can't try that case?
Right.
He did worse than the first guy did. When
You think
about it. Well,
true mistrial versus?
Yes, yeah. And it just ruined the office. It really did.
On that note, the fallout from that case will be in the hands of the next DA, and that is that any cases that Michael Proctor touched that could potentially unravel, that's still going on. You know, Brian Walsh was convicted recently. Yeah. Michael Proctor was part of the investigation into his case. Miles King's case is ongoing. Right. What's your plan to deal with Proctor's cases?
You've got to review every single one of those cases from top to bottom.
It's a lot of work.
A lot of work. What I am going to do is get a group of retired judges that I respect, some retired defense attorneys.
He's going to call all the old guys up, all the old guys.
Retired assistant DAs that I respect, and have them come in and go through all of those cases and write a report on all of them.
He was on the governor's council?
There's been a lot of holdback with emails, not releasing them until they had to. Well, we know the emails between the trooper and the sergeant from Canton. Does anybody have to say how disgraceful they were? Of course not. But to me, they knew that. The DA's office was touched. You got to review.
Okay. Yeah.
I sometimes think when I'm by myself, is there somebody sitting in jail right now, state prison, convicted because of he was black? Or assistant DA in a courtroom pointing to the jury saying he did it. Somewhat.
Do you have any thoughts about what you would do? Because he'd be going to trial for witness intimidation right around.
Oh, wait, hold on.
The time they get released because
I want to see what he says about me. Hold on.
But there was an assistant DA in a courtroom pointing to the jury saying he did it. Convict him.
I want to ask you about another case. Okay, thank you. Going to the future. Have you looked into the Aidan Kearney case at all?
Somewhat.
Do you have any thoughts about what you would do? Because he'd be going to trial for witness intimidation right around the time when the new DA would get sworn in.
Well, I would postpone that if I get in. I want to look at that case.
You would want to review it before it went to trial.
Look, I know he got under the skin.
He told Bradle that he was going to drop the charges.
Into the DA's office big time. But I don't know everything he did, but he seemed to do what reporters do, only he was kind of heavy-handed with it.
Okay.
You know, he did his own thing, and it got a lot of people upset that he was asking questions and so forth.
Yes.
So they prosecute him. They get a warrant out of a district court. Now, I'm a clerk now of a court. You don't get a warrant out of me unless you can prove that that person isn't going to show up on a summons. They arrest him in front of a school bus with his children getting on the bus.
So you're suggesting that there was some personal animus there?
They hated him. Yeah.
Yes.
So I would look at that. And personally, unless there's something that I don't know, I'd null prosecute case tomorrow if I was a DA today.
Oh,
Get rid of it.
I would null pros that case tomorrow if I was the DA. That's great, bro. That's all I wanted to hear. Null pros means over if I was the DA. Get rid of it.
This saga, it's been terrible. The money spent on it is outrageous to the taxpayers. Get rid of it.
Okay.
How hard is that to fucking say? Yes. Give it up for Juvinville. Give it up for Father Time, dude. That's how it's done. How hard is that to say? That, bro, it's like we are trying to get rid of the stain of Karen Reed. Okay. That left us with a real big stain. Turtleboy's part of that. Okay. We don't want any more Karen Reed shit in the court. The Karen Reed circus needs to fucking end. Okay. It was embarrassing. They took us to the cleaners and like, we're done with Jen McCabe. We're done with frickin' the Proctors. We're done. Just get them out of here. There's fucking done with these idiots. Done. That's exactly the correct answer. It's just like, bro, we're fucking done with this shit. We're just done with this shit. I love it. Go Juvinville.
What would you mentioned the ADAs, just what would your staffing plan be? Like, would you be looking to clean house or would you look at who works there and keep them? What do you think?
Well, I know a lot of people in that office over the years, and a lot of them had nothing to do with this.
It's like I would be campaigning for him, but he can't win. He's not going to, I mean, imagine he wins. Imagine he wins. Like nobody saw that one coming. Oh, who's going to win? Connor, Djuna Perkins, or Adam Deitch? Oh, old man Juvinville isn't going to win. He's going to get in there. I love how Kristina asked them all. This is like, she's asked every candidate about me. That's good, as she should. This is the biggest case that this office has, and it's going to happen right at the time they're elected.
You can't come in with a meat cleaver and throw the whole office out. You'll spend the next 4 years hiring people. So it was only the top people that were making those decisions.
Okay.
And some of the others that were involved were told, you do this, do that. They weren't making decisions. So I think there's got to be a cultural change in that office. And that's the top echelon.
Management,
supervisors, management. Yeah. You got to have that. Okay. Otherwise, the public is never going to, the public will have the same opinion if I'm in there. What has he done? He hasn't changed anything.
I mean, you've been a lawyer in the state for a long time. So a lot of.
Yes, Emily's just got the best comments. That's why she's got a wrench. This race is why we need ranked choice voting. Exactly. If there was ranked choice voting, oh, this is anyone's game. Adam Deitch would be the favorite if there was ranked choice voting. because Greg Connor would get first. And a lot of people are going to vote for Greg Connor. The people that wouldn't vote for Greg Connor would put him last on the ballot. My rank, Adam Deitch 1, Juvinville 2. And then I'm going to listen to the rest of them. Maybe Bearcat. Maybe we go with the Bearcat number 3. I don't know. I think Macy Lee, is that her name? So tomorrow on Sex Cult, we're going to listen to the other candidates. So we haven't heard Macy Lee yet. Macy Lee? No. Macy Gray? What's her name? Macy Lee. I had it right the first time. Craig McClellan and Bearcat. We have not heard from Baccarat there. Whatever it's called. The other game on the chessboard. So tomorrow during Sex Cult, we'll listen to them. We'll give them a shot because we got to hear from all the candidates. But because Connor would get first in a lot, but he would get last in a lot. I also think Deitch would get last in a lot because like the antis fucking hate him. And Djuna might win if there's ranked choice voting. Now that I think about it, I don't know. We'll see. All right. Are we going to do Sex Cult tomorrow? Is tomorrow Thursday? No, why would we do it tomorrow? Probably do it Thursday. I meant to say Bus Stop Live tomorrow. Bus Stop Live. We're going to keep covering this. So, did I say Sex Cult? I didn't mean to say Sex Cult. I meant to say Bus Stop Live. All right. Let me read some turtle chat, shall we? To end this one. I love old man Juvinville, though, bro. This he's not old. Okay. First of all, he's younger than Crawford's girlfriend. Okay. So he's not that old. Give him a break. All right. All right. First, we got Lori sends $10 and goes, Doctor, a 17-year-old aspiring journalist. Oh, okay. That you tutor, just learned that he's interviewing a mainstream media journalist tomorrow who says she extensively covered Karen Reed. I don't believe that, but anyway, this is for his summer New York Times journalism internship. He knows all about Karen Reed and loves you because I don't shut up ever. He asked me what to ask her. I suggested how she feels about Turtleboy facing prison time for exercising his First Amendment rights, and what she thinks of the witness intimidation statute being used to criminalize today's Turtleboy's journalism. Any other thoughts? So they're interviewing a journalist. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't ask him. Those are questions you ask like the district attorney candidates. I would ask him like, what do you think of Turtleboy's like journalism model? Don't you wish you could do that? Like, do you ever wish you could just be your own boss and like do the shit Turtleboy does and be like a renegade journalist? Isn't that pretty cool? That's what I would ask. So they're probably going to say no though. Lynette Carolla, my good friend from the West Coast, sends $100 and goes, hi Turtle Tits. As much as I'm going to miss you, I want you to have the best vacation. You deserve it. I wish I could be out there for your fundraisers. I hope one day you come out to LA for a fundraiser. I'll help organize it. You have tons of fans on the West Coast, and I've become your biggest. Never miss a show. You continue to make me laugh, and supporting you all the way. Keep throwing the dirt on the haters. Love you. Lots. Lynette Carolla. I mean, I think that's wild. It's just like, I love it. It's just so funny because obviously I know Adam Carolla. That's her ex-husband, and love Adam Carolla. I don't know what you guys are like, if you guys are cool or not cool or whatever. So I don't want to step on any whatever there, but I think that's so fucking cool that I'm like, I never thought I'd have like West Coast fans out there, you know, supporters. I don't really like calling them fans. I'm not big into that. I think it sounds pretentious when you call them fans. Like, oh, my fans, I'm so cool. I don't have fans. I have supporters. That's what I have. I have supporters. You know, if you've ever met me, anyone who has ever met me before knows I'm a real man of the people. I'm not like one of these uppity. I'm not like famous, but I'm kind of famous. I'm like new famous, if you will, like where I'm not like too, you know. No pictures, please. No autograph. We're not doing that. Like I never say no. I never say no to a picture. I never say no to any of that. Yeah, Adam Carolla, Man Show Adam Carolla. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so it's still new to me, and I love it. I think it's fun going out there, meeting people. All right, next up we have I Stand with Mel. Sends $10. Goes, have you seen the movie Obsession? I saw it this past weekend. I kept seeing your face in place of the poor guy in the movie. I don't know if I have. Have a good vacation. If you haven't seen it, you should watch the trailer. Why? Which woman are you talking about? Could be anyone. Thanks. Aaron sends $10. Goes, the truth doesn't need protection. If the McAlberts have nothing to hide, it's hard to understand why they would resist being deposed. Each attempt to avoid scrutiny only invites more questions than it resolves. You set the standard for investigative journalism. Your details are verified, and you're not afraid to challenge the status quo. Keep pushing. The truth always leaves a trail. It's very deep. Thank you, Aaron. Let's see. Aaron sends $10. Goes, per Greg Connor's LinkedIn profile, he worked for Norfolk for 25 years. His title from June of 2016 to April of 26 was Chief Trial Counsel. And he held the title of Motor Vehicle Homicide Chief. Did he really? From 2005 to 08. So why did he not do Trial 2? Seems like he had the experience. Now, Karen Reed told me that he was asked to prosecute her, and he said no. He denies that. So it's his word against hers. And obviously, she would have heard this from somebody, so he's a more direct source on that. But it's a good question. It's a good question. You know, I think he didn't want to take the L. I think he just did not want to take. I think he was like, I'm good with that case, bro. Let Lally humiliate himself. Let Lally have that one. All right. Do we have any cash apps here to read? Caroline, we do. Sends $10. Goes, enjoy your vacation and time with your kiddos. I do. I take vacation seriously. I don't interrupt them. I'm not going to be streaming. I'm not going to be doing. I mean, I could do like morning streams or whatever. Fuck that shit. You know. No offense to you guys. It's like that's work. And yeah, I could be getting like. Obviously, when you work for yourself, you don't get paid during that time, and that's fine because I make money doing these streams, obviously, and that's fine because family first. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to be like, you know, I won't interrupt family time. To me, that's the most important time. You always remember your family vacations. I always remember my family vacations as a kid, right? Going out, like seeing cool shit, go whale watching, like that's the priceless shit, man, that you'll never ever forget. And so nothing, like I don't work during vacation. I have a very strict policy when it comes to that. So there we go with that. So thank you very much. I might dick around on Twitter because I don't know if I have a book to read on the beach. So you stick around on your phone sometimes. And when I go on my phone, it's just right to Twitter. So I might dick around on Twitter. You might see me on there. That doesn't count as work. That's just dicking around. Marianne sends $10, goes, Juvinville is a put up to draw Deitch votes. I assure you he's not going to be drawing many votes from anyone. Thank you, Marianne. Kerry asked about, is Crawford blaming you for the air tag? I have no idea. Probably not. I don't even think he's that retarded. I don't know. But okay. Anybody else got anything to say? Any more comments? Let me see here. Oh, memberships. I got to bang out the membies. Let's bang through these. We got Love Scorpio. Loves the Scorpio. Says the corrupt will stay that way if there was no Turtleboy and the truth. Well, true that. Yellow Lead Betteros says if Cryford votes for this lady, he does not support Karen at all. He's never supported Karen. She said no to reopening the investigation. Gross. And Karen Reed and her family have made it very clear we support Adam Deitch. So if you don't support Adam Deitch, you don't support Karen Reed. Period. End of story. I don't know what there is to say. I'm a Deitch guy. Always have been. Even though Juvinville, I really should be a Juvinville guy. I should be. because Juby's got my back. Juvie just came out and said, Nalprost, done. No thanks. Thanks, TV. Ruth Ann says you're welcome. But again, that would be selfish of me to be a Juby guy because I don't think he can win. Maybe he can. I don't fucking know. Maybe he'll surprise us. Imagine that just comes out on election night. Like everyone's like, who's going to win? It's like, oh, fucking Juvinville. Whoa, where'd he come from? He gets like 68% of the vote. Like, whoa, that was crazy. Free my boy, says James Lynch. Love it. Sparkly Rabbit, 5 memberships given out. Thank you very much, dear. I could still give him McDonough. I could, but I'm not going to. Allison says, I love your YouTube presentations. I'm glad Auntie Bev told me about you in trial 1. Is that how you found me? When she kicked me out of the courtroom? I have a good vacation, Rich Mason says. Thank you very much. And I think we are all caught up there. Okay, cool. All right. Anyway, I'm going to go to bed. But I love all you fine people. And thank you so much for your support. And we'll see all you mofos tomorrow for the Bus Stop Live. All right. PC Bum Crease, outie, and brush your teeth.
Tick, 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 boom. Tick, 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 boom. Tick, 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 boom. Pressure build, detonate, tick, boom. Too late now, can't moderate, tick, boom. Check in my flash, let's go. Everybody talking, nobody compose. You should've just let me be, but nah, you knew what I do. Who I am, you know who I am. Tick, tick, tick. Robbing and weaving where you telegraph hate. Flash bows pop every time I breathe. Whole world watching, enjoy no front row seats. Say my name, watch the algorithm screen. Turtleboy! You drama sales on the fumes on my pipe tails. Free clickbait for all the mirror ultimate. Bum for town clownies. Better all town clownies in the cheap seats. I built this house, you built noise, I built proof. Woo. Time to raise this roof. Time to expose the hard truth. Now the spotlight stuck on you. Oh, po baby boo. Tick, 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 boom. Truth hit the wrong. Stand clear. Tick, boom. Funny now, they fear. Tick, boom. Flash bulbs, no escape.